Ladies and gentlemen, I think we are back. Welcome to Sundays with Craven, episode 37, take 2. That slight technical issue was completely my fault. I will let you know where I went wrong. The echo that I could hear was because on my PC on another tab, I had my YouTube channel open with the live playing. So that would explain why I could hear my voice straight away after speaking. And I simply couldn't concentrate. So it's completely my fault. And I'm really sorry. Thank you to all of you that have come back over. I really appreciate it. So, as I say, episode 37 this evening of Sundays with Craven, the live podcast that I host every single week, 7 p.m., where I invite special guests from across our wonderful community to have a good old chinwag. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing this evening. I can't wait to speak to the special guest, making their 4th appearance on the show. It's going to be a special one. And I can't wait to dig in with the questions. And I hope you've got some good questions too, guys, because don't forget, in the latter half of the show, we do a live Q&A. So any questions you have for me or mainly the special guest, save it for then. We will go through each one and have a good chat. So before I do bring in the special guest, let's say hello to everyone that has joined us live from the start. I can see 26 of you in the live audience. If you haven't already, please do hit the like button if you enjoy these podcasts. It lets me know that you're enjoying it and encourages me to keep doing it every single week. So hello to, from the start, let's scroll up, Joker's Wild, Ian Ritchie, Zeus, who says, am I in the right one? Yes, you are, my friend. Benson's, who says, back. I think everyone is just coming back over. Sorry again, guys. These things happen. Icefire Collection, Silver Punk. Who else have we got? Shiny Silver, Miyamoto. We've got James the Bullion, Nerd UK, CPM Invest Andy. We've got you in there. Crispy Shiny Things. Who else have we got? Big Green Stacker. Good to see all you guys. Thank you so much for showing up to show your support. BBA, always in. Ian Atterbury, the Sniper, is in the house. Watch your backs, guys. Northeast Coins. CY Sterling. X20 Precious Metals. Good to see all of you. Queen Nessie is here, guys. We've got East End Dave, Brits and Sovs. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Don't forget, Brits and Sovs, the legend himself, is going to be doing a massive giveaway when he hits 1,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. And I am very fortunate. I'm going to be the person hosting that for him. So if you haven't already, check out Brits and Sovs, East End Dave, subscribe to his channel. Fantastic content. And he's getting closer and closer to 1,000. And I promise you, the giveaway is unreal. I couldn't believe he gave me a sneak peek. I could not believe what he's given away. Seriously, you do not want to miss it. 365 Days of Silver is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Mike Hawks Mells is in the house. Thank you so much for joining. Silver Stag Stacker. I'm bringing silver back. Love that name. I say that every week. Thank you for joining. Miss Stacking with Craven. Only place to be on a Sunday. I completely agree. Thank you so much, my better half. Who else have we got in here? Don't want to miss anyone. I think that's it. If I missed your name, I'm so sorry, but we will come back to the chat throughout because this conversation we're going to have this evening is just as much about me and the special guest as it is about you. I want you all involved, engaged, and yeah, it's going to be fun. So without further ado, I think it's time to bring in the special guest. As I said, they are making their 4th appearance on Sundays with Craven, and I'm going to press a few buttons and bring him in. A man who cuts silver coins for a living, and he's actually pretty good at it. Let's have a press of this. The Coin Cutter. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, mate. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you really well.
No echo this time?
No echo this time. That was entirely me and my voice. It wasn't your fault.
Evening, everyone. Happy Sunday. Glad to be back 4 times. I can't believe it's 4 times already.
Yeah, I mean, apart from Diaxis, of course, it might be a record. It may be a record.
I think I was on once on my own on we said, didn't we, 10th episode. Once with Punk and Nerd on the Little John piece. Once where I interviewed you, and once where we did the Craven roast. So this is actually my 5th appearance.
I completely forgot about the roast, so maybe it's a good thing because I got completely terrored. Oh, mate, but it really is so good to have you back. It looks like you're doing really well. I will just say as well, I love the top you're wearing. It's proper showing the brand there. Nice.
Got it, mate. You know what? I've had it for ages, and I've needed an excuse to wear it. So this was the excuse to wear it because I've not been brave enough to wear it yet.
Yeah. No, it's really good, honestly.
Sometimes I think shall I walk down the street with it, but no, I'm not that brave. So
Oh, there you go. Maybe one day. So, mate, you
maybe.
kind of know by now, you know, sort of the general format of this show. And where we start is kind of a follow on from last week. I
Yeah.
had a fantastic 4-way panel with 3 guests, which was obviously Andy, Creative Precious Metals. We had Benson on, and we had CO4 Hordian. It was so much fun. But what that meant is, unfortunately for you, at the end, when I said, please, can I have a question for next week's special guest? It meant that you have got 3 questions. Are you ready for those questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
And I will say, guys, normally I give people quite a good heads up. The coin cutter, on the other hand, I told you today, did I?
Yeah. And I've been out all day, so I've literally just been looking at them now while I was trying to boil the kettle and make a cup of tea. So I've not had a lot of time to read them. But hey, I'm sure we can still answer the questions.
Well, we're going to see how you get on. I'm sure that they're keen to see your answers. I know that Benson and Andy are in the audience. CO4 Hordian did very kindly message me before. He is working, so he can't be here, but he left you a very good question. So we're going to start with Andy's creative precious. I'll start again. Creative precious metals, and this is his question. So, if you had to cut up something different other than coins, what would you choose to do?
Yes, I've just been pondering this now while you was having the technical error. I'd probably say wood, right? Because wood is something that I think is probably endless possibilities of what you can create. But I just cannot work with wood. I just cannot seem to grasp wood. Give me a piece of metal any day, I'll cut it, and not just coins. I've worked in the steel game for a long time, and I can understand steel or metal. I can just make metal react the way I want it to react. But wood, I just can't grasp it. I'm either rounding off drill bits, rounding off screws, cutting it wrong. Yeah, I'm just awful with a bit of wood. So if I could create with anything other than metal, I would love to say wood, because I can't.
That's really interesting, because I might be completely wrong, mate, but I would just imagine that cutting wood would be easier than metal, right?
Yeah, everyone would expect that, yeah. Do you know the amount of things I've tried to build in wood? Like, I'm just never successful. Putting a shelf up is a big achievement for me. Like, I'm just, pretty bad with wood. You would think wood is easier, and of course it's easier, but I don't know if it's just because I understand metal, because I don't know. I started in the steel game at 16 years old, so I don't know. You just get an understanding of something, don't you? And people seem to think that metal, a lot of the time, you sort of have this concept that it's unpenetrable and non-bendable, but yeah, I can make a steel beam fit in an hole that's too tight, no problem. I can cut a coin up, no problem. But if it's wood, yeah, I got no chance.
Okay,
So
that's really interesting.
Metal is the one.
I wasn't expecting that answer, but I mean, it makes sense. It's an honest answer, and who knows? We could see in the future a wooden coin cut a piece, maybe. I don't know, there must be a wooden coin out there somewhere in the world.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? I never say never, but.
Never say never.
I'm not that good with wood, so let's go for wood for that answer.
Okay, well, you said you prefer metal, so this next question from Benson gives you a chance to cut some metal, but not what everyone would expect. So, coin cutter, Benson, my good friend Benson, left you a really good question, and it is, if you could cut up any car, doing it the way that you cut your coins, so with the handsaw, what car would you cut, and how long do you think it would take you?
Oh, can I choose this one? This is Chick Hicks from the Disney film. So I could definitely cut that up with my saw, and we're probably talking half hour with that one. So yeah, if I could choose any car, then I would choose this little one here that I've just been and grabbed out my son's collection, or this one, Jackson Storm. I could cut that one up as well. If we're talking real cars, I'd have to try and think of the smallest car possible. So I'd probably go for the old style Mini Cooper, because it's small, and that is it. And they're a cool car, aren't they? But can you imagine how long do you think that would take me to cut a Mini Cooper up? Let's say it was just a metal. God, weeks and weeks, and many broken blades, maybe even longer than weeks. I don't know.
That would take some doing with a handsaw, honestly.
Yeah. We're probably talking. I couldn't even give you a figure. If you was cutting for 10 hours a day, let's say 50 hours a week, you've got to be talking a couple of months, maybe 3 months, 4 months. I don't know.
Not just that, you're not just cutting it for the sake of it, you're cutting it into a jigsaw design that would then effectively go back together as one when all the pieces are in the right places. So
maybe we need to say year. Maybe we need to say years. Depends how big if the jigsaw pieces are as small as some of the ones I make, then we're talking years. If we can make sort of I don't know, meter squares of jigsaw, maybe not too bad. But yeah, I couldn't put a figure on that one. Let's just pick the smallest car we could find.
We do get some good questions on here, and sometimes they are really difficult to answer. That was a unique one from Benson.
That was a hard question.
Yeah, we've also got a very unique one from Seolfort, which we've never had this left as a question on the show. And Seolfort wants to know, Coin Cutter, if you could describe your version of paradise, what would it be and why?
Yeah, I mean that is a hard question, isn't it?
Very
I've got
hard.
some things spring to mind, but it is a hard question to know that would that be paradise, because paradise surely is absolute perfection, and I'm sure most things still have their drawbacks after you've done it for a while. So I would say sat on a cruise ship balcony, cutting coins. That would be paradise to me. Missus and kids in the room, me on the balcony watching the world go by, sawing away at a coin. I think that'd be pretty peaceful. But would I want it? Would I want it forever? Maybe not. But waking up at a different island every day, yeah, I think I could do that. Yeah, that is my
I've
idea,
got
I suppose, of paradise.
the images in my head. You know,
Yeah.
Titanic. I've got you at the front of the ship with your coins spread like that, with the music and everything.
I do love a cruise, and I love cutting coins. So yeah, that'd be killing two birds with one stone.
I love that, and
yeah,
I think one thing that stands true with everything that you do, the content you make, you have a large following on TikTok. You also have a YouTube channel, which you started later. So guys, if you didn't know, Coin Cutter does have a YouTube channel, and the link will be in the description to check him out. Your passion, you show your passion for everything that you do. And I do really think, yes, it's a business. There is that element, but you also really enjoy what you're doing. And that leads me to quite a few questions I'd like to ask you about your journey so far. Also, from the last time I spoke to you on this show, what's changed in between, what you've been working on, and a little look into the future. So I'm going to start with this for you. This is my personal questions, guys. And don't forget, if you have questions you'd like to ask the Coin Cutter, there will be a designated Q&A section where we'll go specifically off questions in the live chat. We'll put them up on screen and we'll ask them to the man himself. And also, if you manage to keep your beady eyes on my posts, then you will have been lucky enough to enter the giveaway. Members get automatic entry, but I saw plenty of you did get in that. If you didn't, unfortunately, you're not in the wheel, but that is to come as well. There is something very exciting being given away this evening, but I'm not going to tell you any more on that. Thank you to BBA, who has shared the link to Coin Cutter's YouTube channel, so you can go on there, check him out, and subscribe as well. So, Coin Cutter, the first question I've got is a little bit of a more deep question, because I'm sure you've had so many fantastic moments, achievements, projects that have gone so well, and you've gone in different directions, tried new things, and you're very proud of. But there's also definitely been times, and I know we've spoke privately, where things have been a real challenge, and things have got really hard. So my first question for you would be, what's actually been the toughest moment in your coin cutting journey so far? And alongside that, did you ever, or have you ever thought about quitting?
Yeah, that's a good question, and it isn't all plain sailing, is it? We all know that, from any aspect of life, in content even is just as much so, if not more. So yeah, there's been some very high highs while I've been doing this coin cutting, and there's been some lows. I mean, I would say it definitely comes in waves. I find that you've got to, in this content game, you've got to be, you will have months where, or even weeks where you cannot put a foot wrong and you cannot have a video that doesn't go well. But then, as well as that goes, and that really boosts you and gives you the confidence to keep trying, and that boost, that gives you the boost to be willing to try anything, because you feel quite invincible. But then it certainly ebbs and flows, and then it certainly has periods where you cannot get a video right, and you cannot break a couple of 100 views, and you're not getting the comments, and you're not getting the sales, and it does knock you, because I've always said I'm a very strong person, and nothing really brings me down. I mean, I'll give you an example. When I started the Coin Cutter, probably 1 or 2 months in. This time last year, my partner, she had a bleed on the brain, and she spent a few months in hospital, and we thought she was possibly going to die at that time. She had one, and then she come out, and then she had another one and went back in, and she was in hospital for a long time. And if I look on my camera roll, you will find places where, there's one particular day where I always scroll to, because at the end of every video, I put my coin cutter logo. And when I scroll up to that logo in May of last year, next to that picture of my logo is pictures of my and Mrs.'s brain scans while we were sat in hospital looking for them. So that's how close it was that I was building. That day I was sent the logo by someone who created me the logo while I'm sat in hospital with my partner. And so what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, I'm strong-minded. I was still managing to concentrate on the coin cutter while having all that catastrophe going on in our lives for the kids and for Mrs. being so long in hospital and uncertain times, and I can do, I would say I dealt with that. You'd be strong for the kids and you'd be positive. But then, you fast forward a year down the line, and like life's good now. Look, my missus nearly been out of that a year now, and we're probably getting in the safe zone now, because they say after a year she should be back to how she was before. But what I was trying to say is that now there's been times in the coins recently where I have felt low. Like I say, what I'm trying to say is I could go through stuff like that and I can march on and I can still be trying to concentrate on the coins. I will still go and work. I was still going to hospital. I was still functioning and being there for everyone else. But I could rise above it. But there is times lately where the coins, it has got me down. I've started feeling a bit darker and thinking, God, this is getting me down a little bit. And the missus said sometimes, why don't you leave it? And I don't know. I wouldn't leave it. I've never felt like quitting. I want to march on. Like, I love it. It's not so much. It is a passion. Like you said, it is a pure passion. And but the content game is hard. And I feel like you start getting these likes and these comments and these sales, and you do start to rely on a little bit, and it does make you feel good. And when it's not there, it does affect you. It does sort of have that mood of, shit, what am I doing wrong? Why is it going wrong now? It was going so well before. People are not interested no more. People don't like that coin. I need to start doing something. It sort of gets in your mind. It does. It really does. And yeah, like I say, it's probably the one thing that makes me now and again that, probably more the content than anything, because my sales come from content. It's probably them times when it's bad. What I say by bad, I think I had a month, probably 2 months ago, where I didn't make a single sale, and I didn't have a video get out of 200 views, and I was making video after video after video. And that, yeah, it definitely gets you down. It really does. Yeah. Bit of a depressing speech there, but it does get you down.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
I think you get used to the likes, and it's your marker sometimes to know you're doing well. When you're getting the likes, the comments, and the share, you're thinking, yeah, I'm doing it right. When you're not, you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? Why is this going wrong for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Firstly, mate, it's not depressing in any way to hear this. If anything, I think it's quite inspiring what you just explained, that you've withstood all of these things going on. You've kept everything together. You're a family man. I'm also very sorry to hear about the challenges with your missus. And on top of that, I'm glad to hear that from what you said, she's on the other end of that and things are looking good now. So I did want to say that. I'm really glad to hear that. But, the fine lines there you mentioned, where everything's all in one, you're managing all of that. You're trying to do your work, which obviously is time consuming, the level of skill involved. You're also wanting to create good content, which takes up time. I know that a lot of people who are watching, the content creators, they know what goes into it. It's a lot, mate. So the first thing I want to say is well done to you for what you have actually done, and you've kept going. Even when things have been tough, you mentioned sales weren't coming through. Well done, because it's hard work. To what extent, and I want to break down what you said there, you've got your work, which is what we see, the jigsaws, the coins, all sorts of different things you've been doing, toning as well, which I love. We can speak about that in a minute. But the content is, do you feel that is where you generate your sales? You need to promote your work, because I'll be the first to say, and I've seen it in the comments as you've been talking, people think a lot of your work. It truly is outstanding. It's unique. I don't really see the same sort of thing anywhere. It's incredible, and it's only getting better. But do you feel like there's a pressure there to be creating constant content to push it out so people see it?
I definitely think that without the content, there's no sales, because it's the content that people watch and go, "I want one of them." So yeah, you cannot have the content without, you cannot have the sales without the content. I don't believe. So yeah, that's my advert, isn't it? It's my way to advertise anything I do, and it's my way to gain interest. So you definitely need them two together. Just just remind, what was it? Just remind me that I forgot the last part of the question. For the first part I answered, I forgot the last part of the question. What was it?
That's okay. You sort of answered it. It's just that
Yeah.
obviously when you've got all this going on, and I'm giving credit here
Oh,
to
you were
how.
sorry, mate. You were saying, do I feel pressured to do it? Is that what you were saying?
Do
Wasn't
you
you?
feel
Yeah.
pressure? Because your work's fantastic. You've got all these other stuff going on, but do you feel pressure on the content side to
Yeah,
promote your work at the same time?
I do a little bit, yeah, because it's one of them things. I'm certainly one of them people who I carry guilt about a lot of things. Like, this is I'm one of them things that things weigh on me too much, that it's on my mind all the time. Like, I've been at the same company for 20 years and I've had one sick day, and that's because things eat me up. So if I'm not doing something, it's playing on my mind. Same with the coin. If I've not made a video for a couple of days, it's playing on my mind. I'm feeling guilty in my mind. I've got to do this. So I don't know if it's necessarily outside pressure. It's more internal pressure that I put on myself. It's like if I don't go gym, that bothers me. I'm putting guilt on myself. Well, I've not gone gym today. It rarely happens for that reason, that I carry guilt, and I'm quite have to do things. You know what I'm saying? So the content, yeah, I will beat myself up a little bit, but it's not external pressure. I feel like if I don't make a video for a few days, no one's really probably that bothered. I'm more bothered myself. So the pressure comes from me, not from anyone else. Yeah, and I feel, got to make another video. Why have I not posted in 2 days? People are waiting on a video. People are going to forget me. Let's post again.
I think that's really healthy, and everything you're saying, I can personally relate to, and I think it comes from a place of self motivation. You motivate yourself. You're your own worst critic. If you're not happy
Yeah.
with a piece, you're a perfectionist, right? Has to be right. If you haven't done enough content, you're telling yourself, "Come on, slap on the wrist. I can do better than this." Despite everything that's going on that you're managing, I think it says a lot about you and your character. And yeah, like I say, once again, mate, fair play for everything that you've managed and where you are today, which is very impressive. And I've said from the start, and I'll say again, can't wait to see where you go as time goes on. I really, really can't. But within all of this, I want to focus on the now with some questions I've got. And I want to go into a little bit of detail, because obviously talking about what you do, you cut coins, but specifically most of them, I know not all, most of them contain precious metals. Mostly, would it be fair to say, are silver?
Yeah,
So,
most, yeah.
With that in mind, you've been doing this for a while, but specifically over the last, say, 4 months, 5 months, a lot of people in the audience, silver stackers, collectors, whatever you are, pourers, you'll know that the market for precious metals has been extremely volatile. And by that, I mean the prices absolutely shot up, then they've come down again, but they just haven't settled at all, really, until recently, where it's been mid-50s in the pounds.
Yeah.
Has the volatile markets for precious metals affected your business? Have you had to adapt the way you do things because of the different prices? Has it been a challenge? How's that changed things for you and what you're doing?
It has dramatically had an effect on me, and probably anyone who sells silver. But I can guarantee the way I explain this will be the opposite to what everyone would think. Right, and it's the opposite way to what I would have thought. When silver was at its highest, we're talking January, end of December, January, my sales were through the roof. I've never had more sales than that ever for the coin cut. That was my record month in January, when silver was at its highest. When you think I wouldn't be getting the sales, because who want to pay a premium on top of what's already expensive silver? So that was my best ever month, right? Because I sort of put it down to that everyone was in a panic mode, wasn't it? Everyone was panic buy. Silver's only going to get dearer. Let's buy. That was my best ever month, right? And that was when I was riding a real high wave. And then I think February came, maybe even March was when prices dropped back off. And that is when my sales slumped. That whole month when they went down, I didn't have a single sale. It was like everyone thought, oh, I'm not going to rush to buy silver anymore. And that was a real bad month for me. So you would think that, I imagine everyone thinks it'd be the opposite. So when silver was low, when it dropped back down, my sales were poor. When it was high, my sales were great. So yeah, it definitely had an effect. I didn't have to adapt. I just had to ride that wave and sort of carry on, knuckle through it, as much as it would get me down at times, thinking bad things. It was just, I've got to ride this wave. It will come back round. I've learned. I was trying to tell myself, look, this has happened a lot since I've done the coin cut. I often have 2 great weeks, 2 bad weeks, 2 great weeks, 2 bad weeks. It's very wavy, the business is. It's not sales, sometimes it is sales every day, but then I know now I'm doing really well, but I know there'll probably be a month or a few week period where it goes a bit slow again, but you've got to just ride that wave. So yeah, it did have an effect. And yeah, opposite to what I would ever have assumed. When silver went high, I thought there's no way I'm going to be able to sell this. Who's going to pay extra on what is already £100 silver? But they did. Yeah, one of about they had constantly changing prices because you've got to constantly. There was sales sometimes I'd make. By the time I'd made that coin, I'd probably made 10 or 20 quid because I'm thinking because the silver's gone up that much. So it was hard, but as long as I weren't losing and people were getting their coins, that was all that mattered. As long as I had enough money to replace the coin I caught and a little bit on top, that's it really. So yeah, it did have an effect, and I imagine it affected all of us in some way.
Yeah, certainly for stackers, it's been pretty crazy, really. So much has happened in a short space. I do agree with what you said. I wasn't expecting that answer, that when the prices went up on silver that we all saw, if we focus on Britannias, which you do, very popular product, the 1 ounce silver Britannias, there was a point where they were selling frequently for over 110, 115 pounds. So at that point, people were actually looking to pay on top of that for the metal art version of a Britannia, which you create. Yeah, it's interesting. But on the other side of that, when you mentioned about when the price spikes and it drops right down, do you ever hesitate about doing your work if you feel like, well, I bought this 2 weeks ago, this silver, and it's crashed? So that or do you kind of look away from the spot price and you look at it as an art piece, so the value is then subjective? I guess what I'm trying to say is, what role does the physical price, the spot price of silver, play in how you price your work?
I'll probably check it 5 times a day. I'm constantly checking it. On my work computer at home, on my work computer, sorry, at work, it's one of my saved tabs. So it's constantly open in the background, and I will constantly refresh that, like I say, 3 or 4 or 5 times a day. So that it has I have to keep an eye on the market, and it does play a factor because even that there is, even though it is subjective, and you could say, well, you're paying for my art, but we have to take that into consideration. I can't still charge the same now as what I was charging in January, because the markup would just be a bit greedy, really. There's a sort of figure I have in my head of what I want to make for the time I've spent doing it. But so it'll be whatever in my head, it's whatever the spot is plus that figure. So if the silver's back down to 50, 60 quid, then I have to adjust that down. I can't just keep it up. I don't want to be. It's not a greed factor. I want to be paid for my time because it is time consuming, and I want to try and make it worth the time that I've spent in my little cutting room. So yeah, I do fluctuate with the silver value, which is hard really because say it's hard. It's hard on the website. I mean, I don't do the website is a hard one because you sort of constantly having to go on there and readjust. I'm sure there must be a way for some expert website designer out there who can make it spot price plus my figure, which would be nice. So it will constantly changing, and I'm sure that can be done.
I'm sure there is a way you can do that.
I don't put a lot
of all integrated.
I'll be honest. Most of my sales come from Facebook, TikTok, some in Discord as well. I would say that the website at the minute a bit redundant, really. I don't know. I'm not really a fan of my website, so I don't push it. So I tend to do my sales elsewhere, and it's a lot better that way. That I put a video up, someone message me a comment, I want one of these. How can I buy one? Right, I'll message them back. This is how you buy one. Just don't buy it through here. Send the money to this bank account. Send me your address. I'll send you the coin. That's the way I prefer to work.
Yeah. With your products that you're obviously creating, I'm calling it a product. It's a piece of art, but in terms of what people are buying, that's what I mean by a product. But do you find your customers, do you have more or a higher percentage of repeat customers that are coming back for more, or is there more new people making their first purchase? Because when we think about just stackers, we buy the same thing, we stack up 1 ounce Britannias. Do you find that a lot of people, once they've got their first piece of your work, your art, they want more? Or do you find that there's a constant steady flow of new people who see it and want their first coin cut piece? How does that look, and what do you see there?
That's a really good question, and I couldn't give you a percentage figure. I mean, I definitely have a lot of repeat customers. There's a certain small number, and I would like a lot more of these type of customers that will just buy every type of new coin I make. They're sort of that invested in the coin cutter that anything I cut, get me one of them, do me one of them. They're great customers. But then you also need your new customers, and for every, I don't know, 30, 40 new customers, you might get another one that's just a diehard fan like that, or want everything you do. So it's hard to put a percentage on it. I do get a lot of one-timers, but I also do get a lot of repeat customers. So yeah, good question. I don't know if I've answered it very well, but I would say as boring as it sounds, probably the healthy balance of both types of customer there, and you need that. You need recurring customers and you need new customers. You need that healthy balance. And I think I've got that.
Yeah, that's good. And like the reason I asked that is just because I didn't know, and I was really interested. And I think there's definitely a market out there for what you're doing. You've proven that. And I think as you're growing your channel for your social media pages, more people are going to see your work, and more customers are going to come in for the first time. But at the same time, you're building up this core base of customers who just want more, because you're not just creating the same things. You're trying different things. You're adding color in. And this is where I want to talk specifically about the different things you're doing, because I'm sure a lot of people in the audience, 35 of you in here right now, thank you so much. If you haven't already, hit the like button. But I'm sure most of these people have seen or come across your work. We've seen what you can do by turning beautiful 1-ounce silver Britannia coins, for example, into a jigsaw that perfectly comes together. I've got a couple of Little John themed pieces cut up by yours truly, which I love. But you've also, from what I've seen, started toning these silver coins as well, with some beautiful different colors on show. I've seen purples. Here we go, guys. This is what we like to see. A little bit closer. Purples. Look at that. I mean, it really is.
I think that's a perfect color for a Britannia. That purple, I think, is awesome. Yeah, it's a great color. It really is. It really is special. I do love them. And
it's. You also, I've seen blue as well, like a beautiful blue color that you do. And my question here is, how do you go about the toning process? How difficult is that? How easy is that? What does that entail? Show me some. Show me more.
So let's. If people want to see it, I've got a fresh silver coin there. I've got some toning liquid there, and we can do it. But it is time consuming, so I would need to leave it on in the background, and we can just have a little check every now and again if people fancy seeing that. It's quite interesting.
Roughly, how long do you think it takes, mate, to do that?
To get the purple colour, we're talking around an hour. To go blue, you're probably talking an hour and a half. So let's go, and we'll just keep checking some different colours, and when we're happy with it, I'll just polish it off.
Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is Silverpunk, I'll put these comments on. I think guys want to see that. Drop a comment, guys, if you'd like to see that. If it takes over an hour, what you could do is pop that in there now, and then we could come back to it, and we could see the change.
Okay.
Go on, mate.
Shall we go for it?
I think so, yeah. I think we need to do this. 365 is saying live cutting. We're going to get a live cut today.
I don't want to take too much of your time with live cutting. No live cutting today. But the good thing is about toning, we can leave that on in the background, so it doesn't really affect my concentration to the show. Right. So I'm going to jump right in here, guys. Let's get it on so it's doing it in the meantime. So that is liver of sulphur. This is quite surprisingly easy to do. Easier than a lot of people think. Shouldn't give away my trade secrets, but I'm going to. That's about £4 a bottle on eBay. Very cheap. Yeah, people don't believe how cheap. I don't understand how cheap it is. Lukewarm water. That's probably cooled down a little bit now, because I did bring it in here earlier in case we did this. Oh, I'm holding it off shot. It's quite smelly. It's sulphur, so it's like egg. But are
you supposed to put your finger in there?
Probably not. No. But I have it on my fingers all the time. I never wear gloves when I do it, and I sometimes wear a mask when I do it. But it does. I'm getting a whiff now. It does really smell. If you was breathing it in for too long, you definitely get a headache from it. And I have at times before. So we'll pop that silver coin in, guys, and we'll come back periodically and check on it.
There we
2026, go. Lovely shiny 2026 Brit there.
And it's
fully submerged. It's in. We'll just pop that on the side. We'll check on it shortly.
Yeah, and Silverpunk's just letting you know not to lick it, if that's okay, mate. Don't lick the coin, yeah?
No, yeah.
There we go.
I can deal with it because I can deal with that smell because I like eggs. What's 365? Always wear clothes when handling silver. Yeah, but anyway, don't try. If you're handling silver, probably do wear a mask and some gloves as well, guys. I'm being a bit blasé here, but
I think 365 meant gloves, not clothes.
Not clothes. I think you meant gloves. Yeah, guys, do wear gloves. Do wear gloves.
That's up to you. We're not here to say what's right or not to do. I don't think so. 365 does always wear gloves when he handles his silver, so I'll pull him up on that.
Does he always wear clothes? Does he always wear clothes when he wears his handles his silver?
Look, everyone can do what they want, but I mean, Guys, if you prefer to handle your stack of precious metals without clothes on, then good for you. Let's move on to the next question, okay?
Right, okay.
So that's been put in there, mate. The time is 7:45. So about well, you let us know when you want us to check it, because you can keep an eye on it. And
What I would say about Britannia is they tone so well. So I'll show you all of the colours. The first colour it'll go is gold, and it looks beautiful when it's gold. It looks, at times I've took it out at gold, and then you go on to, then it starts going through the purple colours, and it'll be quite dark purple at first, but you leave it a bit longer, it'll go quite a bit more metallic purple, and then it will head towards the blue. The blue you got to leave it quite a while for blue, and then if you let it go past that, it'll sort of start going really, really light blue and then grey. So it starts losing the fun after that. But you can achieve some good colours with it, yeah.
So the length of time that it's in there in the sulphur dictates what colour you actually want it to be. So if you want a blue, you'd have to wait longer than the purple.
Yeah. So it's constantly keeping your eye on it, which is sometimes quite time consuming, especially when I do a multi-tone Britannia where every piece is different. To be able to look at one and go, right, I've got to take that one out now. Polish that up, wait for the next one. Is that ready yet? No, it still looks too similar to that one. No, now. But then you're doing 9 pieces, so you cannot relax. Until you're on that last piece, when it don't matter how long the last piece sits in there, you cannot take your eye off it. And that, when you're doing a 9-piece multi-tone Britannia, that can take a couple of hours in the sulphur. That is quite time consuming. So you've got to try and be sawing coins at the same time. But that comes with experience. There was times when I was just starting, I would just sit there and watch the pot. But now I can cut a coin and go back to that.
Yeah. Now, mate, I know you're in good shape. I'll give you credit where it's due. I know you also regularly go to the gym and you eat healthy. Fair play. But with what you're doing, do you ever get kind of like RSI, like repetitive strain injury, from all the sawing that you do? Does it ever get really painful when you're really trying to, get
good question.
On time?
No, not at all. Never, ever, ever. Maybe my arm might ache sometimes from the gym in the morning, but never, ever, ever. It's a small movement. It's a small, don't know very professional we're doing that movement on camera, does it? But it is a small movement from the elbow down. I've had plenty of practice over the years. No, I'm only joking. But no, I never get that feeling. But it takes years and years of working that part of the body for that to happen. So who knows? Who knows if I'm still doing it in 20 years? Then yeah, I could have a very sore elbow doing that. We'll see.
Oh, this is fun. This is what Sundays are all about. I feel like there's a joke in there somewhere, but we'll move. We'll move. Now, there is obviously, as with all things, and this is what I love on a Sunday, there is a debate. Not everyone in this space has the same opinion on these topics, and that is absolutely fine. We're here to discuss in a friendly, respectful manner. Now, do you ever face any backlash for the work that you do? Because once again, I love your work, and a lot of the people here who put the comments in, who are watching this, also really appreciate the outstanding work that you do. But do you ever have backlash where people say, you're destroying real value, these coins, with the work that you do? And if there are people that have that opinion, that have voiced that to you, what's your response to that, mate?
Well, I think we certainly live in a world today where everyone has an opinion, and everyone can voice that opinion very easily on social media. And we live in a world where someone will argue something that is white is black, and someone will say that something that black is white. You cannot get away from that difference of opinion in the world nowadays. I think for anything you do, I don't know. You could be an astronaut, couldn't you, and get criticised for being an astronaut? You could be a doctor and be criticised for being a doctor. Whatever you do, you're going to get criticised. So I think we're all used to a world like that, which is not a nice world to be. Social media has not become a nice way. It's not become that nice, has it? I certainly sometimes, in my personal social media, let's say, I'll certainly a lot of times write a comment and delete it because you think it's not worth the backlash. You know what I mean? It might be something political. It might be something about it's usually something about football. And I will type away and I'll think, you know what? It's not worth it because someone's going to comment back with something silly. So you do just think it's not even worth it. So,
I won't bring football up, mate, because you're a Leicester fan, I believe.
Yeah,
so I'm not going to talk about that with you.
I used to be. I ain't now. No, I am. I really am. And it's, we're going through a very torrid time at the moment in football, but it is what it is. We have to be there for the highs and the lows, don't we? So my season ticket is still renewed for next season at the same price, I might add, from Premier League football to League One football. Now I'm still paying the same price. I'd expect a little bit of a reduction, but that's just for another podcast. That story is.
There we go. And hopefully there will be chance to do that. With what you were saying
Yeah.
there, though, yeah, look, everyone has their own opinions. Good on you for that response. I love the fact that everyone's got different opinions, and certainly online, people do find it easier to voice their opinions when they're behind the keyboard and they're not face to face, and that's just part of it. But I hope you keep doing what you're doing, keep growing. And there's something out there for everyone, isn't there? If something's not for them, then they don't have to buy a certain product. If they think the price of something's too high, okay, they don't have to buy it. The same with anything, right? There are other options out there.
And in a business mind, you have to approach it sensibly. You might want to react and tell someone to get to not watch my videos. You don't know what you're talking about,
but you have
polite,
to.
Yes, but you have to respond. You have to quite respond politely, don't you? You don't want to you don't want to let them break you down, and you just got to fair enough, mate. Yeah, don't watch my video. Sorry if you don't like it, but there's bound to be people who don't like it, and I also understand why people wouldn't like it. There's people who are quite precious about their coins. There's people who are quite, we know in this stacking world, there is people who are very particular about their coins, but then they haven't got to buy my coins. So there's enough coins in the universe for me to cut some up without making not even a dip in the ocean to affect people's collection. So they haven't got to watch it. I hope they do watch it. And I hope I don't upset anyone. But like I said earlier, you cannot not upset someone in this world. There will always be someone offended or disagree with what you do.
Yeah, you can't please everyone with what you do. And that's okay. I completely agree with what you've said. Now, people are very protective over their collections. I certainly am. People love their coinage and have strong feelings towards it. I'd like to ask you, through your experience, what's the most extreme or controversial piece that you've ever been asked to cut? And is there ever a piece that you'd flat out refuse to do in the future if somebody asked?
I still think the craziest one would have to be the 10-ounce completer bar. I did one for 365 and I did one for someone else. Yeah, that's probably the most controversial just because of the cost. And we know there wasn't that many of them there wasn't an infinite amount like cutting a Britannia where they're going to keep making more. So yeah, that was probably the most controversial. Now, I don't think there's any limits as to where I'll go. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
would you cut a car up? If Benson said, "I tell you what, I'll put my money where my mouth is, and I'll buy you an old abandoned KA. Will you cut it for me? Would you do it?"
Of course I would. Of course I would. Imagine the content. Imagine the content you can get from that. But there's something they agreed to cut, and sometimes I wish you didn't. This is GSH's. This is one of GSH's. This aluminium coin here, and this has been an absolute pain in my backside. This is aluminium, right? And I'd never worked with aluminium before cutting this coin. And it is horrendous to cut. It really is. I mean, I must have had this 6 months now. If you can see my cuts, I've not got very far. I got that far in on that one. Probably I'm not got very far. So this is a headache, but I won't give up. And the amount of time GSH said to me, just give up. But no, I won't give up. Just give me time. You'll get it back, and I will give up. If you see how shiny and grounded it looks on the back, that's because I've took it down, made it thinner because it's too thick to cut, and it needs another layer of grinding off it because it's just too thick for my blade. And if that was silver, I know that would have cut fine. But because it's aluminium, I don't understand why. But aluminium reacts in such a different way to being cut. It's like aluminium constantly changes. It must expand and contract a bit like wood does, because you can be flying along and then you can get to the point where you cannot move your saw and it just, and I mean, won't move. You'll snap it. You try to put another one in, and that incision is that closed up that you cannot even get back past the start. Do you know, let's say I snap on a silver coin, I snap it at the end, I put a new blade in, I quickly run back through where I've cut, and I'm back to the bit where I was stuck, and I keep cutting it there. On this aluminium, you would go back to, it's like starting again. Even though you've already got a cut there, your blade cannot move through it. It's like starting again. It's horrific to work with. So maybe I've bitten off more than I can chew with that, but I will not give up.
Would you rather cut that than wood? Because we know what you think about wood.
I think I actually would. Yeah, I actually would, if you'll pardon the pun.
Yeah, you would cut the wood.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, and shout out to GSH as well. So I'd like to ask you, kind of going forward, mate, about what we can expect to see, maybe some exciting plans you're working on, which you can touch on in your answer. But I'd also like to ask, when you're sort of pushing yourself to your limit, to really, innovate, make new things, go into areas you've never been before with what you achieve with a coin or a bar. Are you more interested in, how can I put this, getting more of a fine jigsaw out of a 1 ounce, for example, making it into a 40-piece jigsaw, a 50-piece, which is so intricate and such high detail? Are you looking to do more of that to scale up sort of how far you can go? Or are you looking to work on bigger pieces? Where's your mind at with that? What would you like to do, and what can we expect to see from the coin cutter 2026 and onwards?
So the mindset of wanting to get a Britannia into smaller and smaller pieces, no. I've done a 26 piece this year, which is quite hard work. It's time consuming. It looks great, but I think it's on the limit of looking too much. So for me, I don't think that getting smaller pieces would improve what I do. I don't think it improves the look of the coin. You can keep going but it'd just become daft. Like, that 26 piece, oh my God, trying to put that back together was horrendous. So I can't imagine there'd be any fun in putting a smaller one together. Them pieces were so tiny. So no, I don't want to take a Britannia any further. Where do I see it going? I definitely want to do some bigger pieces. I've still not done a 10-ounce coin. I would love to do a 10-ounce coin. I've still not done that. I've never held one. I've never owned one. I've never even seen a 10-ounce coin. Something I keep meaning to buy, and I just haven't. So a 10-ounce coin would be a lovely one to work on. I believe I could do the kilo, but who knows in reality. But I'd love to give it a good go one day. And certainly gold. Someone's got to put some gold my way one day and say, cut me this up. A rich Arab one day might want some of his gold collection cutting up, hopefully, when he sees my TikTok. But I've got no limits really. The precious metal is real fun to cut. The aluminium not so fun to cut, but the silver is amazing to cut. It's when you've cut other coins and you go back to the silver, it's just so easy to work with silver as it is. It's quite a pleasure to work with compared to some of the other metals out there.
And gold will be
very soft,
an easier cut than silver, right?
I think, but I don't know. If I get it wrong on someone's gold coin or gold bar, it could be a costly way to find out. Maybe I'll have to do one of my own. But
well, yeah. What would it take for those things to happen? If we talk maybe like a gold sovereign, one of the more recent ones, or like a 1 kilo silver bar, would it take for someone? I can see Zeus with the 2 eye emojis there.
Zeus, you could be the first.
Yeah, Zeus is listening.
Let's make coin cut history.
But would it take somebody like Zeus, for example, who's put that, to actually say, look, can you do this for me?
I think so, yeah.
For you to do it, rather than you to just go off and want to say, right, I'm going to make this and see if anyone's interested. Is it too much of a bigger risk to do?
For now it is, because cutting that for the first time is going to be big, and it's a risk. And so for now that would be a project that I'd want a point in to do, because either one of them, maybe not so much the gold, but the big silver coins are going to be a big commitment. And it's sort of, you want to go through that knowing that it's going to sell.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't know if you saw that, but BBA was asking, if you do the gold, he says, can I have the floor sweepings from the gold cut?
There wouldn't be any left, mate. I'd be on my hands and knees and I'd be gathering every piece up with BBA. So there wouldn't be anything spare.
Did you ever find, if you're doing the sweeping, did you ever find that long lost piece from the silver? Did it
was from a 1/10 Britannia. So I'd cut into 9 pieces, which is quite hard on the 1/10, and I'd toned each piece to make it a different colour, like I do with the bigger coins, and I lost one, and I never found it. I've had parts of that kitchen out, the washing machine, it's non-existent. I've had the kickboards off the bottom of the cupboard, it is gone. That was when I used to work in the kitchen, that was, but yeah, it is completely gone. It really has. Guys, I'll just to break what we're saying, I'm going to pull the Britannia out now and show you where we're at for now. See the gold? That looks like gold now, doesn't it? There is a gold Britannia. That looks like a gold Britannia. Yeah, you would never know, would you? If I cut that up, you'll believe I've cut a gold one, because that looks so gold. Looks awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's surprising the first colour that turns to with sulphur is gold, isn't it?
It
is. Wonder how many people have been fooled by that in the past. I'm sure someone fell victim to that. We'll pop that back in for later. Did everyone see that, yeah?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I think we did see that in the chat. Yeah, I would personally, of course, I would love to see you cut gold, in whatever form it would be. I'd love to see you do a 1 kilo bar. I think this has come up a few times. I think even when I last spoke to you, I said, are you looking to go to, like, you've done the 10-ounce Queen's Beast, and is the next level with silver like to go to that kilo? And I suppose I'm not asking you to reveal all your secret plans, but if you were to cut a 1 kilo silver bar into a coin cutter jigsaw design, how many pieces do you think you'd do? Do you have sort of like the blueprints of that in your head as to what that looks like?
No, but I would try and keep. I don't know of how many pieces, because I'd have to see the specific piece and play with it, mark it out, see what we come up with. But it would definitely want to be some chunky pieces, not lots of small pieces, because when something's that thick, you don't want lots of small, but they've got to be chunky, nice sized pieces, a bit like we did the 10-ounce Queen's Beast. So yeah, I don't have a number and I don't have a plan, but one day it'll happen. I'm not going to give up at the coin cutting. I love it. I will keep going, and one day someone's going to be someone's going to be wild enough to say, cut my 10-ounce off, or cut my 1-ounce gold coin up. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's just waiting for that day.
Yeah,
I've got no doubt that it'll happen.
It is.
But you were talking to me a minute ago. So one thing you did ask me a minute ago is where do I see the future going? So as much as I love doing the silver, and I will forever do the silver because my favourite coin to work with, and working with any other coin is not so nice. I have got some other things in mind that I've probably some more artistic pieces that I want to do. As much as I don't consider myself an artist, there must be some kind of artist in there somewhere. What I've started doing, I've got a bag of pennies here that I've had for ages, just normal 1 penny coins there. I've started cutting them out, and I started cutting them out to use the frames to make a project. So let's say that you've got the coin with the Queen's head cut out, and I've sort of what I'm trying to make is a picture with the frames hanging on, with the coins hanging on hooks. Make a picture out of that, right? And then I sort of thought, well, I've got all these Queen's heads here. What do I do with these? I've got just like loads of Queen's head building up on my desk, and I thought there's got to be a project for them. And then I thought, what about making a tribute to a picture of the Queen, the side portrait of the Queen, made out of lots of little portraits of the Queen. That is something I'm working on now. I mean, it's going to take me a long time. There's a lot of pennies there. I've got other projects to do, so I might do one of these a night in between my work. I'll just do a quick penny out because it doesn't take me long. But that is the kind of thing I want to do. Probably something a bit more artistic that is not such, exactly coin related, but something that you can have on your wall. And imagine a portrait of the Queen made out of lots of little portraits of the Queen. Who knows where that could get me? That'd be an impressive talking piece.
Yeah, so, that's interesting. Yeah.
That's something I'm working on now.
So doing things. You've got things going on in the background. You're always looking to try new
side project. You're doing a project. You're keeping up with sales. You're turning a coin. You've got orders. I'm trying to do them, but then I'll be like, right, I've finished tonight. Let's do a quick Queen. Just got a quick penny out. Do another penny, and what I'm doing with all the frames. I mean, I shouldn't give everything away, but with all the coins with the head cut out, I'm hanging them on hooks, and I'm trying to make a picture out of that. Originally, I thought to myself, well, I'll tell you what I'm doing it for. I wanted to make something special when I hit 3K followers on TikTok, because that's where I'm heading. I'm not going to be there just yet, but I've got a bit of time, and I know we will get there. So at that point, I'll have something special made out of all of them, and hopefully I'll have the Queen's head made out of the Queen's heads. Yeah. So that's something different. It's just sort of branching out and not just making a single coin. It's trying to make something out of lots of coins. So who knows? But that's somewhere I want to go.
I love being here listening to you talk about this now. I follow your TikTok. If anyone doesn't, check it out. You've got so many fantastic videos on there. You're always showcasing your work, and also there's parts on there that we don't always see. Maybe on YouTube, you actually sit down just talking about things. And a particular TikTok that stood out to me was where you spoke about where things began. Now, I'm not going to ask for the whole story on that, because you've been on this podcast before, and we've gone through that, and it's amazing how this started and how you come across someone that was cutting coins and it inspired you to try it. But the point I'm getting to here is you at the start, and you can add your thoughts on this when I've said, but you were inspired. You then got home. You decided, right, I've got the saw ordered. I'm going to do this. You then tried to cut a coin. You weren't happy with it. And then you thought, I'll give it one more go. So you did it a second time. You weren't happy with it. You're like, screw this, never mind. And then something clicked, and you decided, right, I'm going to give this one more go to the third time. And when you did that, this is actually pretty good. But if
Yeah.
you hadn't have made that decision, do you think that you'd still be here now? Do you think you would have gone back to it? Because I find it amazing. The decisions we make really do in life, guys,
Yeah.
dictate
Yeah.
what happens in the future. And because you made that decision, look where you're at now, mate.
Yeah, I do, and I agree with you that every single thing has such an impact, doesn't it? You know, a single decision like that can have an impact on your life. It's changed my life for the now. It could change my life forever. You know, I think if I stopped the coin cutting today, my life has been changed by this because I don't know, it's already been changed. I've gone into a new world, a new dimension, a new skill, a new care, a new hobby, a new interest. So, yeah, it does really have an impact. Them little decisions. Do I think I would still be here? I don't know. I mean, like I've already said, things. I beat myself up a little bit. I carry a bit of guilt. Maybe I'd have carried a bit of guilt for spending £12 on a saw and made myself try again. But that particular day, I did try again, even though I'd already threw the saw and decided I wasn't. But I did try again, and I don't know. When you know, these things happen, don't they? I mean, yeah, I think I don't know. I wouldn't exactly go as far to say they happen for a reason because I don't believe they do. I think it was chance, and I took the chance, and I got where I got, and it wasn't totally that I thought, you know, this is at the time I didn't think, oh my god, when I seen this guy, that my dream is to do what he's doing. No, I wasn't thinking that I would enjoy it that much, and it would be my dream to do. But I was thinking, well, I've never seen that before. That's really cool. I never believed that would be possible with a coin, and I'm sure many people out there don't believe it's possible with a coin. I've never seen it before. I've got to have a go at that. I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I think
Just
about, I
highlighting
mean,
a comment from Punk when you were speaking there, which aligns with what we're
yeah,
talking about. We're all just one decision away from a completely different life. It's amazing when
yeah,
you think about stuff like this.
it is. Well, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't bring football up again because I'm quite humiliated about football at the minute. But when I think about my favourite footballer, Jamie Vardy, and what that player achieved when he was very close to giving up football, and in fact, he was working while he was playing football at the start, and he didn't break into the Premier League till he was later in his career, and look what he achieved. So you know that when I think about him, the inspiration of just that's one example. There's millions of examples, but that example for me of him, you know, very much writing off football and becoming one of the greatest players in my opinion. You know, he still holds records in the Premier League that haven't been beat at what many people would have believed was at the end of his career. But you know, and he's still playing football now. So I not you know, I don't just want to use football as an example, but that is an example I use. Yeah, that little decision, and you got to keep going, and little decisions have a big impact. And
Yeah.
and let's say I didn't make that decision, I wouldn't be any unhappy because I wouldn't have known what I was missing, would I? I'd be just still me and living the life I was already happy with. I maybe would have stumbled onto something else. So, and I wouldn't have known what I didn't have. Now I've got it. God, I'm so amazed and happy that I did it, but it could have not happened and no one would have known. You guys would have still been making your podcasts on Sunday. Discord would have still been around. People would have still been making their content and life would have been just the same. But for me, it's a massive story to me. But, you know, yeah, it's like one of them things, isn't it? To me, it is a massive, massive thing to part of my life. To other people, it's a little fraction of their life. They'll see a little bit of the coin cutter and they'll carry on doing what they're doing. So, yeah.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, I love hearing you speak it, and that's why I mentioned I brought you back to the start because I found it amazing when I saw that TikTok, and I was like, "Wow, you were basically done after trying. You went back the third time, and look where you are today."
Yeah.
I think it really is amazing. Now, I've personally got two more questions for you.
Okay.
Just before I tell you them, guys, in the live chat, it's about to be your moment to shine. If you've been patiently waiting for the chance to ask Coin Cutter some questions. I do see questions coming through, but we have a specific section for it. So if your question hasn't been read out, now's the time to put it in. I will go through the questions and we'll ask them. So start putting those in now. And yeah, we'll go through them. And just back off what we were saying, Northeast Coin says the best thing to do in life is to believe in yourself. And
Very
I
true.
love that
That's
because it's very true.
saying. Yeah.
And I think you definitely show belief in yourself. And I do hope you continue doing what you're doing. Another thing, I want to think here, we spoke before, Zeus. I said he's messaged you. So there you go, mate. He sent you a message.
I'll read
I'll be wanting to know what's going on in the near future. But there we go.
Exclusive incoming.
Yeah.
Cheers, Zeus. I will get back to you, mate, when I get a chance. Hopefully after the show I'll have a little read of that and there might be some exciting news there.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what comes out of that, but I won't pull you on it now. But the last two questions from me, quite simple, really. In all of this, your journey being the coin cutter that you are from start to finish, what's your biggest regret? And on the other side of that, what's your biggest achievement?
In the coin cutting, yeah?
As the coin
Talking
cutter,
coin
yeah.
cutter, yeah, as a coin cutter.
Yeah.
My biggest regret. I don't know really. I don't know if I have any regrets really. You know, I still feel like it's been a very short time I've been doing this. It's all going very well. Do I have any regrets? Probably the one thing I could possibly regret, and I don't know if I regret it yet, but I certainly could in the future, is maybe not making the leap for this to be my full time. And that is something I probably toy with a lot in my head. But there is external factors that have made that decision quite hard. I certainly believe that if I was putting my 50 hours a week into this, that I do it into my day job, that this would be a lot further along the line. And I think it'd be huge. So that is not a regret as such now, but I think I'm scared that one day will be a big regret that I didn't make that leap. Um, and I'll tell you the reason I haven't made that leap is because not because I don't believe in the coin cutter, because I know I could do it. I know, but I've just got some conflicting things in my day job. My day job, I've been at the company for 20 years. I've got to a position where I'm being talked about becoming a shareholder of the business. And they've both come at the same time. My gaffer sort of telling me that he wants to step back and give me part of the business, which is an amazing achievement because I started there at 16 years old as a labourer. I didn't know nothing about that company. I didn't know nothing about erecting steel. I didn't know nothing about cranes. And 20 years later, I've gone from the bottom to nearly the top. And I've surpassed a lot of nearly everyone on the way that taught me how to do the job. So I've really got to a great position now that it's like, if had I not been in the position I was in now, and I was just, I never seen it going anywhere, and I was just, then yeah, I could say, yeah, let's go and jump off and be the coin cutter. But I've been there so long, and I've got to a position where what I probably always wanted before finding the cutter is on a plate really, or on the cusp of possibly happening. So it's very hard. Yeah, it's a hard decision. So at the minute, the coin cutter is my side job, and my other job is obviously my main job. But the coin cutting is still my passion and still what I would love to be my full time. But I could. I'm not just risking a job. I'm risking my family's future if I left that position now, because that is a company that is in a position where I would be sort of guaranteed a financially good future. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite, there's a lot, there's a lot of balance, there's a lot to think about there. So I think about it every day, but at the minute, I'm just waiting to see what offers are on the table, and then I go from there. It's all right talking about it, but nothing is actually signed until it happens. So it still might never happen. I still could leave and be the coin cutter. I still might do this as a side job for a long time. I don't know. So that could be my possible regret. So I'll just be open with you all and tell you that's exactly the only reason I've not made the leap yet, because I would love to make the leap. And what was the other question? So the third part of the question, what was your regret? And then the other one was?
So before I say the other one, which was what's your biggest achievement on your journey,
Yeah.
just on that answer, I think it's a good play to keep your options open. You're managing this as things are. You're keeping your options wide open, and that makes perfect sense. But thank you for explaining, and also well done on your achievements from starting at 16 and going up the business like you have, learning the ropes. It's impressive, mate. It really is. But the other part of the question was, throughout your journey as the coin cutter, what do you think in your own mind is your biggest achievement? And that can be anything, a piece, a milestone with the content side, anything.
Yeah.
What's, in your words, the best achievement so far?
Okay. I definitely don't think my level of following on my content, because I believe I sometimes beat myself up about that. I don't think that is where it should be for the effort and time I put into it. I think it's a very slow grower. So, I definitely want to be further along with followers than I am. But I think we all probably think like that. Biggest achievement, I think it is not a single piece. I think it is finding something that makes me happy, that I will do at any moment I get chance, without hesitation, without force. Finding something that you really care about at a time in your life when, I don't know, at a time in life when life is busy, and I had a lot of other things going on, 2 young kids, a family, life's busy, and I've got a busy day job, but still managing to find that one thing for yourself that transports you to I don't know, happiness really. So that is an achievement. It's the coin cutter is an achievement in itself. Just doing what I've done. Like I said, I've learned so much from it. If it stopped tomorrow and I never did it again, it'd be something I was proud of forever. So yeah,
I
that is
love
the
that.
achievement. Yeah.
Really like that response. Yeah, and look, it goes without saying, I hope, long live the coin cutter, mate. I hope, whatever you decide to do,
Yeah.
I really hope you just keep doing what you enjoy and
Yeah.
you're passionate about, and just let your creativity and that creative mind of yours take you wherever you want to go. And we continue to see these fantastic creations as time goes
Yeah.
by. And I'm all here for it. And I definitely need to add another coin cutter piece to my collection. So far, the ones I've got, as mentioned, was the collaboration piece.
Yeah.
The box that is just there. He's only just up there.
Yeah.
Little John, and obviously
how many times you dropped that since you've had it?
I actually think, to be fair, just the once when I unveiled it.
Let me give you an update. Let me give you an update on the tone Brit.
Yes, please.
You can see now this is going to a dark gold, heading to red. This will head to red now. Yeah, that will head to red. You can see it's a lot darker gold than it was last time we looked, can't you? You'll see hints of red in there. You might not on the camera, but it's certainly going to go through a red stage. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, guys.
It's that sort of color right now. It looks like one of the older gold Krugerrands. It's got that sort of murkier gold color.
Yeah. We'll keep up to date on that one. Let's see how far we can get it before the show ends.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out as well to one of my channel members, Crispy Shiny Things. BBA's kindly let everyone know that they've done their first video on YouTube. I have watched it. It was a really good video, and it's good to see you starting to make some content. So thank you for being a supporter of my channel. And I hope people, if they haven't seen it, go and check that out and show you some love too. So I just wanted to share that. Guys,
good luck, Crispy.
Yeah, love that.
Good luck with your channel, mate. Go get it.
Yeah, go get it. Don't hesitate. Create, just like the coin cutter does.
And the more content you put out there, the more you'll feel comfortable putting content out there. Yeah, keep going.
Well said. Well, coin cutter, thank you for answering all of my questions. Now it's time. They've waited. Second half of the show, the live Q&A. I can see questions coming through on the chat. Are you ready for the live chat
yes,
to have their say?
I'm ready.
Okay, so we're going to start here. So, guys, you've got plenty of time. Put your questions in the comment section. I will go through them. And yes, we'll ask the coin cutter anything you want. There are no rules. Just keep it respectful if you can. But I never know what to expect here, mate. So, first question. 365 Days of Silver says, coin cutter, how is the silver dust jar coming along? Yes, I've not seen that in a little while.
In such a big jar, you can't see the transformation that well, but it is coming on, guys. It really is coming on. Look at that. Now,
do you know what weight that is?
Last time I checked, and it was the start of the year, I think, and I said I wouldn't check it again. It was 8.5 ounce, but I said I wouldn't check it again until the end of the year. So we're not going to know now until the year ends again, and then let's see where we're at.
Wow.
So I know he's in the audience, and I hope he's able to answer this question. Silverpunk, I always have a dream that one day this is coming to you, and you are going to make me something special out of it. I even think about the content we could make of that. I would even like to drop it off to you in person one day when this is full. But could you make something with dust? I imagine you could, but I've never actually asked you and had an answer. Could you make something out of that dust? Is it too fine to melt, or is it fine to melt? So, Silverpunk, if you're watching, mate, please comment the answer to that, because I'm dreaming about it, and I don't want to dream about it if it's not a possibility.
There we go. I'll keep an eye on the chat, mate. If I see anything from Silverpunk as we go down, because there is questions. If I see a response to that and he is still here, I'll let you know. Thanks for mentioning me dropping, by the way. I'm getting reminded of my new nickname, which is Butterfingers. Shelford Hordian. It says, Craven doesn't need buttering up with those Butterfingers. Oh, never mind. What have we got here? Queen Nessie says, has there ever been a coin that you loved and messed it up and you couldn't save it?
That's a good question, Nessie. Thank you. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. There is coins that I would believe are messed up sometimes, but there is always someone out there who like it. I've got a customer, my very first customer, who I speak about quite a lot. and he likes pieces of mine I do not like, but he likes an imperfection in my work. So yeah, one person's junk is another person's treasure. So I don't think I've ever messed one up bad enough that I couldn't save it. It is very savable. You know, you'd imagine how many times I've cut. How have I not just cut and just completely gone off my mark and missed? But even then, I would probably know, but the customer wouldn't probably know. You know what I mean? So no, I don't think I've ever really truly messed up on a coin that I have put in the bin, except for that one piece where I dropped a piece and I never found it. No, I don't think I've ever truly messed up to a point where it's not savable. But good question. Hey, there's still time yet. It could still happen.
That's fair. And it wasn't that you couldn't save it; you just couldn't find the bloody thing.
I just couldn't find it. And with most things, with a lot of things, mistakes come through complacency, and as I do it more and more, I might get more and more complacent because I'm often sawing a coin where I've got Netflix on in the background, and I'm sawing away and I'm watching and I'm sawing and I'm watching, or I like to watch something in the background. So it probably will happen. As I get more complacent, it might get more mistakes happen, but no, I don't believe so.
I hope you weren't watching Netflix when you were sawing Little John. He's here, you know. He'll hear what you said. Based on what you said, Silverpunk said that sounds ace. Yes, I could.
Brilliant, Silverpunk. One day, mate, we're going to make a very special piece for that. Me and you together.
Yeah. Zoo says I'm listening closely to this answer. He puts the odd comment in. He's there in the shadows. He's listening. He's there. But yeah, I can't see any more questions right now, guys. Normally there's a lot more. So yeah, what I'm going to do, which I occasionally do, is ask the special guest until we see some more, because we've got plenty of time, guys. If you can't think of any questions, maybe I've just asked you so many good questions that nobody has any more questions. But as a few more come through, do you have any questions for me at all? Because I like to remind people that a little short while ago, you actually replaced my role as the host.
I did.
And I was the special guest on my own show, and you smashed it. So you know how to ask some good questions. If you could pick one just now while we wait for the chat, ask me any question in the world. Get your revenge back. Put me on the spot.
No, I really enjoyed that. The roles reversed. I think I really enjoyed asking you the questions because it was questions I wanted to know the answers to. If I could ask you any questions in the world, well, it's not a question, but we did. You know, I might have seen a sneak peek behind the scenes earlier, Craven, of your of the setup at Stacking with Craven. Something you said that you don't think anyone's ever seen before. Am I allowed to say that? Well, what I will say, I won't reveal anything, but I will say I've seen the door open behind Craven, and I wasn't. It wasn't what I expected. So I don't know how much I'm allowed to say. He left the door open, and I see it, and I thought, oh, that's not what I expected. Nothing. It wasn't nothing bad or nothing out of the ordinary, but it just you build up a picture, don't you? And it wasn't a picture I'd built up. So
no. And you know, you're part of a very exclusive club, if not the only one, ladies and gentlemen, that's seen behind my door. A door that we see all the time. People saying, you know, is your door just moved? Is somebody there? What's behind the door? Where am I? You know, where is this room?
Well, it's a showbiz exclusive, guys, and I can't tell you what's behind that door. I've been sworn to secrecy.
Craven, is that really Little John or a cardboard cutout? That's him. Yeah, that is him. That's the guy. Little John, the original. It is him. I got absolutely. Oh no, Little John can't stand up again. Well, hang on.
Craven, I've got to tell him what's behind that door. It's Little John wallpaper. The whole room behind there is Little John wallpaper.
I asked you not to tell anyone, mate. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, mate, but I had to.
Oh God, yeah. I don't know if you saw recently. I got basically told off by the entire audience for having Little John in a box because I was changing this room around. So to keep things neat and tidy, I put him in the box along with other things. With his little Jacob's cream crackers, that it's like a mini one. It's not that big.
I've seen it.
Queen Nessie sent me.
Nessie sent it, didn't she? Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah. Diaxis says Craven took Little John out of the box just for the live. As soon as it ends, he's getting straight back in the box.
Nobody puts Little John in a box. Come on, Craven.
No, well, I did, but it was only for a short period of time. It's amazing. There's a whole rabbit hole there about Little John, but this is about you, mate. And people have woke up again, and there's some good questions coming through. 365 says, going to a TikTok or YouTube. I know what you're going to say here straight away.
It's 100% TikTok. I find the YouTube thing really hard. Like I'm often posting on YouTube out of necessity really more than desire, because I've got to build the YouTube up, and a lot of this community on this Discord group are mainly YouTube, and I decided to go down the TikTok route. And what I will do, if a video is successful on YouTube, I'll post it onto on TikTok, I'll post it onto my YouTube. If it does really well, I need to post it onto my YouTube, but I won't post every video on my YouTube. So I'm sorry, but if you've only got YouTube, you're not seeing the full content that I do. I find the whole camera different direction thing is a pain in the backside, because I don't want to film double of everything I'm doing. I know if you have to film a proper long video on YouTube, you need to have your camera horizontal on your phone, and to film it on TikTok, you need your phone vertical. So I feel like you've got to pick one, and I feel like TikTok is where I want to be, and I need to make YouTube. I do need to do more on YouTube. I know I do, and like you said earlier, I could just make a video of me talking. Yeah, I should, but I don't know. I tend to feel like to make your editing smooth and easier, you need to sort of film your content with the end video in mind, because the more you do that at the start, the easier it is when it comes to editing. Because I'm sure everyone who's got a YouTube or a TikTok knows that editing can be a time-consuming, boring process in my opinion. You know, I've got all that content sitting there and I think, oh God, I just need to go and make some videos, but I'm too busy cutting a coin. But at least I've filmed it. I'll do it at some point. So yeah, and I film in a way that I'm prepared for TikTok content. Really, I think, well, that's a good shot for TikTok. That's a good shot. That's smooth. That's fast. But it is very fast paced, and for that reason, I'm forever probably making quick content. Whereas I know YouTube is better for longer form content. It's also, I think, it's more loyal fan base. So I know I need to concentrate on YouTube more, but I just naturally go to TikTok. Whereas TikTok is, you're a bit like a hooker, you know what I mean? You are just sold to the highest bidder. You are not the fans. Often the people who watch your videos, 90% of it aren't your followers. They don't even get to see your videos. It's randoms. You're trying to please an algorithm. So really, I should stay away and move away from TikTok more. But I don't know. I just prefer it. And whether it's right or wrong, who knows where it'll be. The good thing is, I sort of went with the like 80-20 rule. I'm putting 80% of effort into TikTok, but I'm still putting 20% into YouTube. And one day I hope to improve that and make it more equal and please people on both platforms. But at the minute, I'm putting my eggs more in the TikTok basket.
Yeah. I do have a TikTok. It's I spend more time on there watching other people than posting myself on that, because I am the reverse of you, really. I'm probably more like 75-80% YouTube. And I do a little bit on the TikTok because it's fun. But I do love the content on your TikTok. And once again, guys, if you do have a TikTok, definitely check out Coin Cutter if you haven't already, because I'll be honest, that's where I watch the majority of your content, because there's not as much on your YouTube. We have a couple of funny questions here, actually. So this is for you, so I'll let you answer it. Ian Atterbury, the sniper, he likes to ask these sorts of questions every week. Coin Cutter, can you ask Craven what colour that is on his hair? I still can't find it. He's been going to the shop looking for Shaw for Craven or whatever it's called, and he can't find it. So do you know?
No, I don't know. I mean, it looks jet black to me from here. Is it out of a bottle, Craven, is it?
Apparently so, yeah. I mean, I'm not revealing all my secrets to everyone. God. I've had a haircut recently, so it was a bit of a mop. If people have been following me recently, I had a big fringe and it was getting heavy. We're getting beautiful weather now as well. Yeah. It's been lovely. So yeah, because it's getting hot, I shortened it. But yeah, I'm not going to reveal what product I use just yet. Ian, you'll have to keep asking me.
You look fresh anyway. You've had a fresh trim, Craven. You look good, mate.
Thank you, mate. You don't look too bad yourself. But next question, enough of that. Northeast Coin says, question, Colin Cutter. There's a new one for you, mate. Colin Cutter. Colin Cutter, do you actually like doing jigsaws?
As in a cardboard one, I'll answer the question in both respects. A cardboard one, like an actual real old-fashioned jigsaw, yeah, I do. But I don't do it. It's not something I do at home, but certainly if we are going away on a holiday, for example, if we're going away on a holiday in this country where we've got little to do, I do take one. I try and take one because I like to keep myself busy. I like to keep myself busy. I will play cards. I will play. Yeah, I'll do that. I never finish them, but I will, like, for example, we go away in a caravan every Christmas. Well, a lodge. We'll stay in that over Christmas. There's nothing open. It is just family time around this place. And there's often, the telly's not really got everything on that you would have at home. So you find things to do. It is board games and puzzles. And I enjoy that. It's taking it back to old school. And, the kids might be playing with their toys. I might be just sat there sometimes, just plodding along, thinking, "Oh, I've found another bit." I will get addicted to it. But then, and if he was asking about silver jigsaws, yes, I love doing the silver jigsaws. I love doing a 9-piece jigsaw because I think they're just aesthetically pleasing, rewarding, and nice and easy to do. So yeah, I do like. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't do a jigsaw very often. I took one at Christmas. I took one the Christmas before, and the Christmas before that. Normally at Christmas, I will get one to do. I will buy one, and the last two I got from a charity shop. So they might not have even had all the bloody bits in because I've never finished them.
Fair enough. The questions are coming through. By the way, I laughed at this. Glass Baylor was answering Ian's question. I think it's called. Is that boats black?
Faux black. Yeah, like.
Okay, yeah. There we
go.
Imitation black. Secrets out there now, guys. But yeah, more questions coming in, mate. I sort of get to a point where if I don't say anything off the back of your reply, it's not. It's just because
you're reading.
I'm going through the questions so everyone gets a chance to ask.
Just before we answer Nerd's question, let's have a look at this coin. You can certainly see now. Let me hold it a bit better. So
it's going purple.
We're getting reds. It might be hard to pick up, but yeah, sort of dark red burgundy heading towards purple now. Yeah, you see that? Can you get that out in the camera?
Yeah.
Hopefully we've got enough time to let it go blue, but I don't think we have. Looking at the clock, I don't think we'll get to blue. But let's see how we go.
Well, what colour do you want it to go?
I'll probably leave it to go blue, but I don't want it to take too long. And sometimes the blue, the last colour, can take forever. So let's just see how we are. We'll keep giving regular updates, and we'll see where we are.
Okay. Question from Nerd UK, the creator of the Nerd Backs. If you haven't heard, guys. Question for Coin Cutter: do you have any questions for anyone in the chat?
Okay,
I've had enough of this show. Can you guys just ask us some questions?
Yeah.
We're getting bored over here.
What we'll do now is we'll get you on the show next time, mate, and we'll I'm joking.
Sorry, mate. I shouldn't have invited you on. My bad.
No, is there any? I'll ask a question. Let me think of a yes and no question. Let's get a bit of a idea. Do people think I should keep putting silver coins up, or do people think I should stop putting silver coins up?
You should absolutely continue.
Yeah.
If anyone comments no, you're getting your comment removed.
Kick them out.
You're being banned for life. I need to catch up with the chat, so I'm going to go into whiz fire mode. Are you ready for rapid fire?
Go for it. We'll go for rapid fire round.
Yes, I need to get to the bottom to see it. So,
okay.
Shiny Silver says, if you could cut up an ancient coin, what would it be?
Good question. Good question, Shiny. I would probably be a bit embarrassed to say that my knowledge of ancient coins isn't very good. So I'm afraid my answer will not be very good for that question. I would say I'm quite uneducated in older coins. You said to me, Craven, "Oh, you're doing a 1951 crown." Well, that'd be Cooper nickel. See, I would never know that. That's not the knowledge I possess. I would not know that. I know it now because the person who gave them to me told me that. But yeah, like, you just had that knowledge, and I haven't got the knowledge of the ancient stuff. But that's an ancient coin. I possibly think I maybe shouldn't. Yeah, go on.
I mean, once again, you're crossing potentially a line here with some collectors that would be absolutely disgusted if you did this.
Yeah.
Say no more. But if you think about ancient Roman era, you could look at the denarii. I've got what's called a trajan, which is an ancient, it's a silver coin. It's quite small. I believe it's the Emperor Trajan that's actually got his portrait on there. Yes, it's quite, it's not got the same detail. It's so old. I mean, these coins are like a few thousand years old. That's how far they go back. Whether you'd want to cut that's on you. That's for me would be like, wow. I mean,
I'd feel I'm crossing a line. Yeah, like I feel like, I don't know if it's because I'm starting to understand people's wants and needs, or what people care about. I've been doing these Cooper nickel crowns, and I've actually just bought a real crown, and I am in two minds whether to cut it up, because I feel like, it's an old coin. Should I be cutting that up? Where before I would have never had asked that question to myself, and I've had it for a couple of weeks now, and it's not been touched with the saw. But yeah, I was thinking these crowns are coming along so nice in Cooper nickel that let's do it with a real one. But when it came, I've sort of thought maybe it's too old for me to mess about with. So it's an odd one on the ancient ones. I probably feel like you know, people. I'm starting to get more aware of people would not like that. Not so much myself, but yeah. So shiny, I couldn't give you an actual coin, mate. I'm really sorry on that. My knowledge of ancient coins is not so good. Is that a
Yeah, so
crown?
this is a crown. Sorry, guys, the camera's mirrored. This is an 1893. You got Queen Victoria there on the obverse, but yeah, this is 925 sterling silver, and I love
What have
what
I
you
got under
do.
that?
I really do, but I like
Yeah,
seeing you do it with the copper nickel.
yeah.
So after 47 rather than before that, like this, for example, and. I don't know if you want to tell everyone what's happening with that or what's going on with that, because there is some questions and we'll still continue with the questions, guys. Don't worry. I'm not going to skip the chat. Tell us about what's happening with that cut there, mate.
That is being on Little John's Wizzy Wheel of Wonder tonight, isn't it? For someone in
The
the audience
Wizzy
to win.
Wheel.
The Wizzy
Yeah.
Wheel of Wonder.
Look at
So yeah,
this.
someone could win that. Someone could win that. No, that is something. Yeah, I'm really enjoying working on them at the moment. But that is Cooper Nickel. I could do it with a real crown, but is that bad? I don't know. I'm starting to be more aware that people might not like it. I don't think you would
Once
like it,
again,
Craven.
people
You
can have
like
their
your old
opinion.
coins, don't you?
I do, yeah. I'm, I love the pre-decimal silver, such as these crowns, half crowns, florins, shillings, sixpences, threepences. The list goes on, and world silver as well. I love all of that. I'm not here to say what's right or wrong. You do your art, and it's beautiful. But if I was
Oh
to say
God,
what my opinion was, I think you're still going to get that beautiful St. George and the dragon design that you've cut out on the 51 one there.
I've got
Which
an
looks
1890
stunning.
there. That's an 1890 there. Is that too old to cut up, that one? That's the only one I own. And I did buy it to cut, but I don't know if I should.
I mean, who am I to say? If you were to ask my opinion, I'd say don't cut that one. I love your
Yeah.
work, but I'd say don't cut it. Just
I think I
solely
might
just
not. For now, it's there. I could change my mind one day, but it's there.
yeah. But yeah, very generous. I really appreciate you putting that up for the giveaway. So the guys that are in before the end, as you know, we will host Little John's Wheel of Wonder. Thank you so much, Coin Cutter, for throwing that in.
Yeah.
You always put something together when you come on. You don't have to, and it's really kind. Let's catch up with the chat, mate. I'm gonna continue flying through. I don't really know what this means, but could you cut rings within rings within rings from Trevor?
Rings.
Sorry.
I get what I think Trevor means that he might mean within a circle. Does he mean a circle, another circle, another circle? Does he mean that? Now it's possible, but the hard thing with that is you always need a starting point. So I've either got to drill a hole, or I've got to cut him from the edge. So I might be able to do a circle, a circle, a circle, but there'll always be somewhere where I've entered the blade. So yeah, there's a downside to that. If that's what he means. If he means actual rings, I don't know.
Okay.
Rings with rings with rings.
I am whizzing through, mate. Seal4 Hordian says £30 for the coin cutter to tell us in as much detail what he saw.
Like, I can't.
What did you see behind the door, mate?
Selfie, or I cannot tell you. I think a lot of you would turn the camera off. I think a lot of you turn the stream straight off if you knew. I cannot tell you.
I've kept it a secret all this time. What's behind
that
door?
I can't be the grass. No, I will not be telling anyone. I'm afraid not.
Can't be the grass. I mean, if you were going to be a grass, you'd want more than 30 quid, right? Come on, Seal.
Definitely. I mean, I don't want to be a grass at that price anyway.
No, 200 quid, then maybe we'll be a snake. But
yeah, let's have a whip. If we can all just have a whip round in the comments, guys, and put together what you can, I will tell you what's behind that door.
Oh God, yeah, maybe you'll find out one day, guys, but not today. Now, BBA, this is a question for me, Coin Cutter.
Oh yeah, good question, BBA.
Now, look, if the people have been following me, and I did post this and announce this, the tattoo that Caravan is having is booked, and that is coming up soon. What are we on today? Today is the 26th of April. I am going to the tattoo person shop on the 9th of May, because that was when I could get booked in. You can't go in instantly for these things. You have to book in advance, and I wanted to go somewhere that would really do this beautiful Little John design justice that I'm having. And then, as I say, I'll be recording it. Some people wanted me to do it live. I'm choosing not to do that. I will record it, and it will be on the channel sometime next month. And there's your answer. It's happening soon. You will get the blood that you thirsted for. I will hold up my end of the bargain. And once I've done that, ladies and gentlemen, once I have done that, we will set a new target and I will make a new goal. But I've refused to do it even though I hit this, until I honor my word. So yeah, watch this space. How's that for an answer, mate?
You got to make some good content out of that, Craven. That's some great content on there. You could make, couldn't you? You got to.
Well, I hope
give
so.
the fans what they want. Yeah.
Otherwise, if I don't, I'm just going to go to a tattoo shop and get the guy to ink on me for the rest of my life an image of Little John shoving his staff into a shark's mouth. If I'm not going to show anyone that, what's the point? Why did I do this? And by the way, I also have to put a silver prize together to give to Diaxis, who kindly generated that design that got voted for as the winner. So I have to pay to get that design as well. Never mind. I don't know, guys, but I am having it, and it's going to happen. Right, guys, you do realize I am not the special guest. It's the coin cutter. So Shiny chipping in here. Craven, when are you getting a ring? In the future. My better half, Miss Stacking with Craven. I'm very, very lucky to be with her. She supports me in everything I do. I'm very happy, and that will happen in the future. When I do, I'm sure you guys will be one of the first that I'll let you know. But apart from that, we'll move on. What's this? There's more questions about rings from Trevor. Could you cut a 1 ounce with 10 rings?
Oh, I think so. I mean, I'd have to put pen to paper and mark that out. If I could cut 10 circles in a coin, yeah, quite possibly. I mean, it's hard without putting pen to paper. I couldn't tell you, but I can't see why not. It's definitely possible. Yeah, let's say yes to that. Yeah.
Okay. I'm bringing silver back. Says, what's the oldest coin you have cut? Like
I think BBA could answer that, because BBA, I did cut a crown up for you, didn't I? What year was your crown, BBA? I'm going to let you answer that one, mate. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
No, we'll have to wait for BBA to comment back on that, because it was a crown for BBA. I'm pretty sure that's the oldest thing I've ever cut, and he would have to tell us the year. So wait for BBA to comment the answer on that one. He would know.
If it was a crown, it might have been a 925, maybe Queen Victoria. I hope it wasn't a Goth.
It was 925. It was 925. I remember that, but I can't remember the year.
You know, when you describe, I must be really far behind on the chat. I'm going to skip through some of this, but people are still talking about being hookers, because you described how you were on TikTok like hookers. I'm seeing hookers come up. Right. Let's whiz through this.
I haven't put the chat on the screen on my screen once. I've not seen anything that's going on in this chat.
You don't want to see the chat. I've got Nerd asking if I do TikTok dances. No, I don't. You're looking smart, Craven. Is that in case I make another mask? No, don't make another mask of me. Craven and Coin Cutter could be father and son. I won't say which is which. Oh no! Please do. Who? I'm not saying who's the daddy. Let's move on. It just sounds weird.
Because I know I'm actually older than you, Craven, aren't I? So I wonder what way the audience thought it was. But I think I'm older than you.
You are.
I know you can't tell, but I am.
No, you can't. I mean, what cream do you use? Crikey, mate. 365 Days of Silver says, have you ever cut a piece and decided to keep it for yourself for the deep stack?
Once, one piece I've cut up and I decided to keep for myself. And it was, I don't know if you remember, guys, I've not done it in a long time. Do you remember when I take a coin and I chop it into loads of little bits of Britannia, so the Lady Britannia stays in perfect condition? All the fragments around her are set in resin, so it looks like an exploded Britannia. I made one of them once and I thought, I'm keeping that. I love that. And I had it on the shelf for probably 7 or 8 months, and then in the end I sold it. But so I did keep hold of it for a bit. So other than that, no, I've sold everything.
I love that. Keeping your own work because you love it that much. Good on you.
But then in the end, I let it go.
Yeah, you can't let those go. I'm at the point, you know, when you asked, should I quit? Should I carry on? I'm going to pop these on screen just so you can see. There was a resounding yes. I can't see a single no.
Good. And
if we do see a no, we're going to have a name and shame right now. And for my moderators, if someone did put no, I hope you removed their comment immediately. So 365 Days of Silver. Glass Velo Bullion, keep going. Northeast Coins, keep cutting. Keep it up, man, says Nerd UK. Ian Atterbury says, keep doing it. Too legit, too quick. That's a very good name for this question. Says, hell yeah.
I like that.
Keep on cutting. There's so many more. Yeah, I love to see it. Right, so I'm like one of those horse racing commentators right now. I am speaking fast. We're getting through it because I'm trying to catch up. We're at 8:35, so we're 11 minutes behind. Shiny Silver says, question for the coin cutter. Can you cut Craven a ring? Oh, I didn't see that bit. Out of the silver coin, I'm sure he needs one. Shiny,
that leads me to it. There is an exclusive, a coin cutter exclusive here. I don't know if this is going to happen, but I have spoke to, and I'm apologies, I don't know his full name, but in the Discord group, Dave P. He makes rings, doesn't he? We have spoke recently about a ring we could possibly work on together, and hopefully that comes off. So I won't say much more than that, but there could be the very first coin cutter involvement in a ring. So who knows? Miss Stacking Craven might request it. And you might have to buy it, and I will name my price because you'll be under pressure.
What's it? Look, fine. We'll talk about this privately, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Next question. Clean Nessie says, have you thought of making full-sized jigsaws with all the coins? Ooh.
No, and I'll tell you for why. I have before tried to. You imagine when you're cutting a jigsaw, Nessie, let's say you're cutting, I don't know, a piece out, that curve there. Whatever you do wrong, even if I do something wrong on the curve, it will still match the piece next to it. Because even if I make a line that is, it's hard to explain, but when you're cutting one coin, whatever lines you cut, you could get them wrong. The piece next to it will always fit it because the cut is the same. When you try and join two coins together, I've tried that before, that is very hard because to make the incision perfect to work on the other coin is, I don't want to say impossible, but I feel it is close to, no, that's a stupid word, it's not impossible. Very difficult to make two coins fit together because we're talking millimetre precision here when you're cutting with them blades that are less than a millimetre thick, probably less than half a millimetre thick. It's very hard to try and get two cuts to match off two different coins. So I don't believe I could make a full jigsaw out of loads of individual coins. But maybe I'm being a bit pessimistic there, and maybe it's something I need to put some more thought into. Who knows? I'm sure it's possible, but I've never explored that idea further after a couple of attempts of it not working.
If it was possible, there's only one man for the job, the coin cutter.
So I agree.
I do really like that question.
I think it's a good question, Nessa.
The crown you showed before, mate, was it an 1889?
No, it was an 1890.
1890. Well, East End Dave, who just recently released a video on his amazing crown collection, which I really enjoyed watching, who said, cut the 1889 crown. It had the most minted, so it won't matter as much. So there's an angle for you, a little bit of knowledge there. If you have an 1889, that one had higher mintage.
1890, that one. East End Dave, 1890, mate.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the mintage figures per year on the crowns, but some people in the
guys,
in the
just before it turns too far, this coin, I'm just going to give you another update because I don't want it to turn too far and you miss a colour.
Let's go.
It's changing quite rapidly now. There we are in full purple mode now.
It really is changing.
Yeah, there we are. And sometimes it is about having the guts to leave it, because you do panic and think, oh, I better pull it out. But yeah, go with it. You can see that is a lovely purple now. I could stop that now. I could polish it and it could end up like this. You know, that sort of that is where that one is at now. But I'm not because this doesn't look as dark as you'll tell. But what I do is I give it a light polish on something so it brings up it brings up the silver a little bit. So the background looks purple, but the things that are sticking out more, like the Queen Lady Britannia, she looks a bit more silver. So I've polished that a little bit. You don't have to do that, but I think it's a better result.
So with the toning, a quick one. No matter how far you go, if you want to bring it back to the silver shiny look, you can polish it.
This is something I said to you off camera before the show, and a lot of people won't know that. But an interesting fact about toning coins here, guys, and why you probably shouldn't be too scared to have a go. And I was very scared when I had my first go. The guy who taught me how to do it, he wasn't with me. I rang him up panicking. Mate, I've ruined it. He said, stop panicking. Just polish it. Start again. You can polish it. I could take that coin out there now, polish it, and it would be back to silver. That is very forgiving. It is. So, yeah, don't be afraid to have a go, because if you're unhappy with it, polish it back.
There you go. Ian Ritchie, question for the coin cutter. This is a football one. Will Leicester follow Portsmouth pattern and drop out of the league altogether after being in the Premier League?
Quite possible, mate. We've just done a double drop. We are in a massive financial trouble. We've already had a points deduction. We have got Premier League wages for some of them players now entering League One, and I'm sure there'll be some we can't get rid of. We have got probably the most sophisticated training ground in the country. That is, I hear rumours that it costs 60 million a year just to keep the lights on and keep it running. So unless we can sort of shift that, we could be in. And I keep reading that we're on the cusp of getting more more points deductions and probably financial issues. So yeah, I don't know where we could be a bankrupt team. It really is a possibility this year that we could go from what we did, achieving the impossible 10 years ago, to being kicked out of the league. It is a possibility, a very sad possibility, and we have been financially managed to destruction. We have been it's just unbelievable when you think of a team that, when I started this journey from League One, where we're going now, ended up going to the highest of highs. You believe that money that we made in them times would be enough to keep you in the top flight football for decades to come, and we are already, within a short amount of time, 10 years, destroyed what we did there. I mean, I know it'll never be forgotten because it was a sporting miracle, but yeah, we could be out of the league. It's quite possible that we could be out of the league one day, and it's a scary thought. It really is a scary.
Now, talking about what's behind my door, East End Dave is asking basically, has he got Diaxis locked up in chains behind the door? Have I?
No, not it. I don't. It wasn't Diaxis. No. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not saying there wasn't someone in chains, but there. Yeah, it wasn't Diaxis.
Well,
behind the door.
It's interesting you say that, because Ian Atterbury wants to know: is it the tattooist locked behind the door? Isn't it? Isn't it Craven?
Yeah, Craven's keeping the door locked so he can't come in. Chickening out.
Yeah. It's Zeus's bedtime. Thank you for tuning in, Zeus. You take care, mate. And
good night. Good night, Zeus. Thanks for the message, mate. I'll get back to you soon.
Coin collector, Diaxis and nerd house sharing. That's behind the door. There's so many conspiracy theories. This is when we were talking about the live. Okay. Diaxis says, I'll tell everyone it's a green screen behind the curtain. It's a caravan. Guys, Nerd says, yes, live stream the tattoo. I want to hear the screams. You guys are sick people. Sick people. Honestly. Yeah, what is it? Everyone's getting involved. Screaming. What's this? Craven, I've just ordered some temporary tattoos. Do you want me to send you the link? Yeah, please. That would be great. If they do one of Little John with a shark, that would be great. Where are we, guys? Have we got more questions, or are you guys ready for the giveaway? Let's have a look. Yeah, thank you, 365's heading off. Cheers. Oh, right, here's a good one, mate. From Nerd. I don't think we've asked this. Have you ever cut platinum before?
No, I haven't, Nerd. I haven't, mate. I can say, yeah, I know I've never done it. Never. I can't even give you an opinion of what I think that'd be like to cut. I mean, silver's great to cut. I've got an opinion that I think gold would be quite easy to cut. Aluminium's awful to cut. Cooper nickel's not nice to cut. Like normal, whatever's in a penny piece is not nice to cut. Copper, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, copper's awful to cut. I don't know about platinum. I don't know. You know, like in the audience might be able to tell me more. I don't know what type of metal platinum is in terms of like its thickness or its consistency, or I don't really know on that one. But I haven't done it, Nerd. There's always a first.
There's always a first for all these things. Crispy says, excuse my ignorance. What are the dimensions of the blade?
I don't know the dimensions to heart, but if I can try and get you can just see that on the tip of my finger. That is how thin they are. It's more like wire than a blade. It's more like a piece of wire.
It really is.
It really is. Yeah, very fine, and they do snap sometimes more than others, but it really is. It's more like a piece of wire. Dimensions, off the top of my head, I believe they're about around half a mil. No, they're not even that. They're less than half a mil. They're about 0.3 or 0.4 of a mil, if I remember right. They're really, really thin. Some are thinner than others.
There we go. Next question, mate, as we're getting through these. Loads of good questions coming through. Diaxis, world's #1 producer, my good friend, says, question for Coin Cutter. If you left it in the dip for too long and it went past the colour that you wanted, could you silver dip it back to silver and then retone it again?
Yeah, you could. I will say, yeah, you could definitely tone it back to silver, and if you polished it well enough, it would look like the original coin. I find that I would only say you'd have to completely clean that silver off for it to tone as well the second time, because I've done it before, cleaned it, polished it, got it back to silver, and gone again. It never toned as well the second time. Maybe because that wasn't. I believe that was because didn't clean the polish off completely. You know, because the polish must fight or gives the coin some kind of protection against the sulfur. So yes, you can do it, but you'd have to make sure you are. It's going some great colours now. You know, I'm just going to put it out because it's going some great
show us.
colours. It's going to bluey now. You can see the blue coming through the purple, and that is
it's
lovely,
multicolored, really.
Yeah, it's going through the purple stage now. We're starting to see some dark blue.
You know, because you don't use gloves when you put your fingers in the sulfur. Do your fingers ever get affected by that, or is it not? Does the sulfur not just stink? You know, it's quite smelly, isn't it?
I will say the only way I've been affected by it is maybe I bit my nails the next day and I've got a horrible taste in my mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, I wash my hands, but it's hard to get that chemical out of your fingers sometimes. And I might sit there the next day like this and, you know, what I mean?
I can imagine. I've never toned, but I have used silver dip. I made a video on that, which was slightly controversial, but it was a test, and that smelled like rocket fuel alone. So interesting. Just want to give a shout out to Global Storm. Thank you for tuning in, mate. Really appreciate that. Let's have a look here. Where are we at, guys? Do we have any more questions before we move on to the giveaway? What we got here? 4006 says, have you recently bought a new Sharpie, Craven? It's good for fake tattoos. Guys, I'd love to try and pull that sort of thing off, get a fake tattoo and trick you all so I don't have to have Little John etched on my body for life. But I'm really going to do it. I'm going to go through with it. I'm going to get what I said I'd do, and then we'll move on to the next one. And by God, I'm going to be asking for a bigger price than 1,000 subscribers for the next one. No chance of I doing that again, and it won't be a tattoo. So, yeah, stay tuned. What's this here? So, Teach7222 says, couldn't you do the foil, bicarbonate soda, and boiling water to reverse it too? That is an option. It's like baking soda.
I've never heard of that one, Tech, so I don't know. I do use bicarbonate of soda to stop the toning. So when I've taken out the sulfur, I will put it in a bath of bicarb just to stop the process going any further. But I've never tried I've never put it in foil, and I've never done it with boiling water either. I normally just put it in. Yeah, that is how I stop the process, but I don't know if it reverse the process. Maybe I've never done the boiling water thing in foil, so I don't know about that one, Tech. That's a new one on me.
There we go. Right, I can't see any more questions right now, mate. So what I would like to do is first say thank you for answering all the questions. Yeah. All my questions, all the live chat questions. Do you think we should bring in Little John's Wheel of Wonder to see who's going to be taking home the crown piece?
Bring it in, mate. Let's do it. Let's get this piece out to a new home.
Okay, right. Look at that once more, guys. It's a 1951 crown that the coin cut has cut, so you can see it really stands out, the St. George and the dragon design there. I love that, by the way. It is 1951, so it's not silver, it's cupronickel. Absolutely beautiful, and I'm kind of jealous whoever gets to take this home. I have got the list ready. If you remember, don't forget, channel members get automatic entry into the weekly giveaways. They're not guaranteed every week, but most weeks we do end up with a giveaway. We have a very generous guest this week, and that's the reason there is one. So big shout out and thank you to Coin Cutter. And then the people that aren't a member, you can still enter. You have to put the magic phrase on the posts. And this week, the magic phrase was jigsaw, wasn't it, mate?
It was, yes, it was. Very apt. What's the word?
Yeah. So as you can see here, we've got, what's the best view for this? That's maybe a little bit better. Let's remove that comment. Drop us down there.
How many we got in? How many's in there, Craven?
Entries, mate. We have 36 entries. That's including members.
Okay.
So a little bit less than normal. If you didn't see the post or you didn't comment, you are not on the list. It means that there's better odds for those that
Good
made
chances,
it in.
Guys. Yeah, one in 36.
That's it, mate. So if I move up there, that's a little bit better. So let's look at the live chat, guys, and we're going to keep this fair. We don't want. There'll still be people saying #rigged. There always is. But first person to put a number between 1 and 10 in the chat, decide how many times we'll shuffle the wheel. Go. How many shuffles, guys? We're going to shuffle this up so it's fair. Who do I see first? What number is it going to be? Who's at 7 p.m, says Diaxis. Yeah, the lucky. I can see it's free from Michael. So 3 shuffles. Are you happy with that, Coin Cutter?
Do it. Yeah, I'm happy.
Right, 1, 2, 3. Right,
Good
the
luck.
wheel has been... There it is. There's the prize. You're a little bit smaller at the moment, mate, because I've got the wheel on, but people may still be able to see it.
Good luck.
Well, it's been spun 3 times, so now there's a very important role for you to play, Coin Cutter. I need you to wish everyone a big good luck for your giveaway and count us down from 5, and I will spin the wheel.
Okay, guys, good luck. Whoever wins it, you'll be taking home a nice little prize there. Let's spin the wheel, Craven. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Little John's Wheel of Wonder has been spun, ladies and gentlemen. For the next 60 seconds, Little John is going to be getting really dizzy. It will start to slow down. But in the meantime, if you haven't already, I can see there is still 30 of you in the live audience. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to hit the like button. It is free. And if you're new around here, subscribe to the channel. Now, Coin Cutter, the wheel is starting to slow down. We're going to get some early predictions. Diaxis was always near enough right with this. I'm going to take a guess and say Nerd UK. Any predictions?
Nessa.
Nessie. It can't be Nessie again. Surely not.
No, it's past her. I think we should use Little John's Wizzy Wheel in the future.
It could be Too Legit to Quit. It could be I'm Bringing Silverback. It could be Villainous Bounty.
It looks like... Oh, it's a hard one. Is it going to stop? I don't think it's going to stop.
Oh, it's gone past. It's Investable Collectibles.
Investable Collectibles.
It's not stopped yet. It has.
It has now.
Investable Collectibles, who is a channel member, part of Craven's Crackers Club. Congratulations. Right, so in order to claim that prize, the best thing you're going to do is contact the Coin Cutter.
Yeah, drop me a message.
Yeah,
drop me a message. Discord, TikTok, whatever. We'll sort it out.
Yeah, thank you so much, mate. And I can see here as well that Investable Collectibles is here. He's very happy. He says, sweetness. Yeah, well done, mate.
Congratulations, Investable Collectibles.
Drop a message to the Coin Cutter directly, and he'll get that sorted. And, mate, thank you so much for putting that on. I really appreciate that.
Good. I'm happy it's going to someone, mate. Hope they enjoy it.
That's what it's all about. Now, we are coming towards the end of the show. We've been talking for the last 1 hour and 52 minutes. The time flies. I know. It's a Sunday evening. It's getting a bit late. There's a few more things I want to cover before we end this evening.
Okay.
The first one, I don't know if you thought about this. And what's this here that Diaxis has put in? Got to read it before. Question for the... He's put another question in here. Let's go. So let's just read it. Diaxis, what's going on? Question for Coin Cutter.
Good question.
You started the reaction with warm water. So would the reactions and colours go through the stages quicker if the water stayed warm throughout the whole process?
Very good question, Diaxis. The answer is yes, but it's hard to keep water at a certain temperature throughout the whole process. But yes, it does. I have sometimes, you get into the end and you think this is taking forever now. Instead of adding more sulfur, I have gone and added a bit more warm water. So yes, the warmer the water, the quicker it goes. You can do it with boiling water, but I've been told it changes so fast, it's hard to keep control of it. So yes, it keeping the temperature would help. I'm just going to get it out now because the colour of this is amazing. I might stop it where it is now because this is just an amazing... It might not... I mean, the light might not pick it up as good as I can see it on there, but it's certainly more blue now. It's not really catching the light very well, that's not. Oh, sorry, guys. There you go. There. You can see that. Yeah.
It's got a lot of different colours mixed in there. Blues, greens, purples, pinks.
Yeah. That's quite a good one. We'll let it go a little bit longer, but just to the end of the show.
Yeah, well, let's see if it changes a little bit more before the end. Before we do get to the end, I'm going to make an announcement. As you all know, we're live every week, 7 p.m. on this channel, the live podcast Sundays with Craven, and next week will be episode 38. We do have a special guest lined up. I'm not going to confirm who, but what I will say is they'll be making their debut on the show, and they are from across the pond in the US, and I can't wait to hear about their first 12 months of stacking. And at the start of that show, to warm them up for the debut, Coin Cutter, I will be asking them a question. I don't know if you've got one prepared.
No, but I've got some on the tip of my tongue. I might think about it for a couple more minutes and see if I think of anything better, but I've got one on the tip of my tongue at the moment.
Whilst you're thinking about that, I've got another question for you.
Yeah.
So next week, there will be a giveaway. We'll put a giveaway on. Do you have a magic phrase that people can enter to enter the giveaway? What can that phrase be?
Let's use the word cutter. Let's use the word cutter from coin cutter.
I like
yeah?
that.
Cutter.
Coin cutter. How about just coin cutter all
just
together?
coin cutter then. Do that. Yeah, do that. I didn't want to be too vain. I didn't want to put my whole handle in there, but let's go coin cutter then.
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. There we go, guys. I will put a post up. So keep your eyes peeled. If you want to enter the giveaway for next week, you need to post on that post. Unless you remember, you'll be in automatically every week. Investable Collectible says, I'm watching from across the pond. Love to see it. Yeah, from the US. So
brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, to be honest with you, mate.
Investable Collectibles, when you do message me, I am heading across the pond in a couple of weeks, so I do need some advice on where to buy some silver. So when we message, if you could help me out with that, I need some advice. Yeah, I do want to pick a couple of bits up on the way, so we'll talk.
That's interesting. Just quickly, whereabouts in the US are you going?
Florida, we're going. Yeah, so I'm sure there's some coin shops nearby that I need to experience or go to or pick up something from, and I would really like to know where.
I've been to Florida. I went to Orlando when I was in my early teens, and it was one of the best holidays I ever went on. Do you know whereabouts in Florida you're going to, roughly?
We are Orlando, mate. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. I'd love to go back there, and certainly for a family holiday.
Yeah.
Have you been there before?
I've been there once, very briefly, and I've been there. I've been to Orlando for 1 day before, so I've been to 1 day now. I'm going for 3 weeks, so I've got a great time to experience it to the fullest.
There you go. Well, I don't know if it's in Florida. I'm not sure, but Crispy says Harry's Coin Shop.
Yeah, I've seen his videos. On
do a live from there. Imagine that.
Yeah, I don't know if I dare. Me popping in there on my camera when he'd already he's got a very good following, as in me popping with a couple of 100 YouTube followers. I don't know if I dare do that. I'd be a bit shy.
I'd stick around to watch that for sure, mate, if you do. But I'm sure it'll be a fantastic holiday. And maybe when you're over there, who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe you will pick up some really nice silver pieces. Maybe some American Eagles, and maybe some of the 90% silver, like Peace dollars, Morgan dollars. They're all lovely. Investable Collectible says, I'm in North Minnesota, up by Canada. Nice.
I can imagine it's beautiful up there, mate. I imagine it's stunning.
Yeah, I love hearing where people are from. There's such a wide spread of where people are from. We're all stackers or coin cutters or collectors, whatever we are. And it brings us to the shiny stuff, the precious metals. That's what collects us, that's what brings us all together. But our stories is what separates us all and makes us unique. And that's why I love having these conversations every week, because you get to sort of pull some of the pages back, pull some of the layers off, and get to know people that bit more. And honestly, as it is every single time, it's not your 4th time. It's been your 5th time this evening, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. So I do want to say thank you so much. And you were always welcome on this show. And I look forward to continuing to follow your journey.
Yeah.
Seeing where you go.
It's been a pleasure being on the show. To come back 5 times is I'm really impressed. Really happy with that. I really appreciate it, mate. It's great to come on here. It's great to have the chat, and it's great for people to see a different side that they don't see. It was also great when I got to ask you questions and I could see a side of you that I didn't see, before. So no, it's a great show.
You saw what was behind the door.
I saw what's behind the door, so it's been worth it, 100%. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of money changing hands to find out what's behind there, guys. But it's worth it.
One sec.
I might have to make.
Just keep it down. Sorry, he's banging on the door. He's hungry.
At least if I might do that for a YouTube video. I'll do a reveal all of what's behind the door. I'll definitely get some subscribers on that one.
Oh, mate. Well, next week we do have a special guest confirmed. I can't wait to speak to them. I will announce it midweek. Do you have a question for them?
Yes. So if you could only, if this person, you didn't say who it was, did you? Say there was from across the pond. If they could only buy one British coin for the rest of their stacking life, what British coin would it be?
Oh, British coin. Now that's clever because they are from across the pond. So who knows? Will they choose the Britannia? Will they choose something else? Will
Sovereign, maybe. Yeah, an old coin. Who knows? I don't think they'll choose Little John.
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry, mate, but they won't.
I don't either. Oh, that's hilarious, mate. But that's it. Honestly, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
We're at the 2-hour mark.
Let's just do this coin. Let's just get this coin out. Let's give it a little polish and let's see what we can make it look like. This is the last. Oh God. Right, let's look at it now. This is as far as we're going to take it. Okay. Again, it's quite hard to get that blue, but it's a lovely blue. You can see the blue's getting nicer now because I've left it longer. The blue's going lighter. The purple's going away.
That blue's lovely.
And so I'm just going to give it. I don't know to polish it or leave it like that. I'm going to leave it like that. But you've all seen the process of what the toning does. Now we're blue. If I leave that longer, that blue will just get lighter and lighter, and then there'll be no colour really left. Then it'll be greys. It'll go to sort of light grey. Eventually, it'll be colourless, really. But yeah, it just shows what you can achieve. But what we've been on the show, I must have put that in there over an hour and a half ago, and it's took us that long to get blue. So
you put
I'm glad we got to see it go through all the colours.
You put it in at 7:45, so yeah, nearly an hour and a half.
I'm glad I got to show everyone it going through all of the colour process there, right to the end. I mean, you don't want to let it go much further than this because the beautiful colours do start, they're not as good when it starts losing its colour. We'll just sort of coming to as far as I push it there.
Nerd UK has a quick question before we wrap up. How much for that Britannia coin cutter, the one you just toned? How much?
That one, the one that you've seen live toned. I'll drop you a message, Nerd. Okay, on that one.
Whatever he offers, I'll give you 50p more.
That's it. You need to give me a lot more, so I don't reveal what's behind that door, Craven.
Fair, very fair. I'm only joking, Nerd. There we go. Now, mate, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you for everyone being so welcoming. Again, they always are on this show. I really enjoy being part of it. Thanks, Craven, for giving me the opportunity again. Thank you so much for everyone. And just everyone keep stacking, enjoying what they do. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. Not long left of it now. And I'm sure there'll be a 6th show one day. But I might have to leave it a little bit longer so you don't all get bored of me now.
That won't happen, mate. I'd love to have you on every single week. I just enjoy speaking to you. It's always a laugh. It's always a good conversation, and it never gets boring. So thank you for being you. Keep doing what you're doing, and onwards and upwards, mate. Really, and have a good holiday as well with your family.
Yeah, thank you.
Spend some time with the family. I assume you may be going to end up with a sore over there still. I know what you like, so we'll have to wait and see. But on that note, guys. That is the end of another brilliant episode, which I really enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did with the coin cutter. If you did, show some love, hit the like button. And once again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss an episode every single week. And just like Coin Cutter said, you almost took the words out of my mouth. Guys, go and enjoy the rest of your evening, what's left. I hope you all take some good momentum into next week. Smash your goals, do what you need to do. And we'll be right back here on Sunday, 7 p.m. UK time. Next week for episode 38. Thank you so much. And on that note, guys, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Take care, guys. Thank you. Take care, Craven.